There's Brenda. Hello, Brenda. Melissa. Okay. I'll wait for more people to get on. Could you scroll up? I want to see how many. If you scroll up on the left side, yeah. Okay. We got 400 so far. Is that all? Hello, everyone. Welcome to Gloria Horn Sewing Studio. Today we're going to be working on the Knots of Luck Embroidery Elegance project. And I have Carol here, Carol Whitmore. She is amazing at sewing. I have her here because if I was sewing, we'd all be in trouble. But she did this pillow. She picked out all the fabrics. She had a lot of say of what fabrics we picked for this. And I think it looks absolutely amazing. So today we're going to go through everything in making this pillow. For those of you who are new here, we're doing this monthly project box called Embroidery Elegance. This is our February box, and it's called Knots of Luck. So I guess where do we begin? So I mean, the new people here also, if you're looking on Facebook, you're going to want to download our app or go view us on YouTube to see things better. You can download our app on the App Store, Google Play Store. Just search up Gloria Horn Sewing Studio, and you should see our icon there, and you'll be able to download our app for free. And you can register with us, create an account, and buy this box if you are interested. So what we're going to start doing today is just open up the box, I guess. So beautiful pillow. We are going to open up the box. And you know what? I don't have my embroidery designs. They're right here. No, we've been preparing all morning for this, and we've been sewing out all the blocks. We're going to show you how to piece it. We're going to show you how to finish the pillow. We're going to show you how to do every single design in the box today. So I think we're constrained to 2.5 hours with comments sold. So we'll try to do this quick. And any questions, please shout them out in the comments. Let us know if you have any questions. There is something on this that needs to be corrected. And we're going to send that. This is available in VP3. Yes, thank you, Bernina software. I'm using Bernina software now, and I'm able to convert all the formats. So if you have a different format that you don't see in the description, let us know. And you can even request formats if you need a special format for your machine. Okay, and all of you should be getting your boxes soon if you haven't received them. I know a majority of you already received your boxes. But in shipping, they were really working hard to ship them out the other day.
Yeah, the balance went out yesterday.
And Carol was in charge of cutting them all. So she made sure that we had all the fabric on order and everyone got the right fabric.
You give me too much credit.
No,
the design
really
is yours. You did a phenomenal job on that design. It was easy to work with.
Okay, that's good to hear. I hope you all have an easy time with this. And we're going to help you walk through it. So we're going to start off with our instructions. We have our flash drive here. There's two things in here. There's the instructions, and then here is our little thank you note, and then a QR code. So after this video is done today, you'll be able to scan this QR code and rewatch our video. Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you, Maddie. My wife just said vote, and we'll get to that. We'll get to voting. But for all of those of you that know about the Empower Her grant, please vote today. But here's the QR code. On the back side is your design combination chart, and this is going to tell you what designs you're going to want to use in order to create a certain pillow size. So today we're going to be doing a 14 by 14 pillow, so we're just going to be doing the small blocks here today. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we'll start off first with...
Where's the candy?
Oh, I didn't bring the candy. I didn't bring the candy. My mom ate it all. Gloria ate all the candy. We have no candy left.
Oh my gosh.
But we had gold coins. So all of you that opened your box and ate the candy right away, she picked, I guess it was, she wouldn't settle for the cheap chocolate coins. She had to go all out. She had to buy her favorite chocolate. There was a lot of taste testing involved in the process. So I'm excited to see what she picks for the next box. So, okay, so we're going to start with the instructions. On the front page of the instructions, it should say all the supplies you need. We already have our stabilizer hooped here. It lists all the fabrics that you'll get inside your box. It tells you on the front, block 1, block 2, your 2 different flange borders you have an option for, and block 3, and we're going to go through all of these. But to start, we're going to start off with block 1, and we're going to open up the instructions to page 1. Oh, and I also have a design overview chart. But page 1, we are first, I'm going to skip to step 2 in hooping the stabilizer, and then we'll go back to step 1 whenever we get to our machine. So we got our stabilizer hooped already. I guess we just got to head over to the machine.
Yep.
I'll make sure this is. Could you tighten that up?
Yep.
Okay. And how's the shot looking, Kate? Is it good? Okay. So you should all have your what did Joni call it? Joni's in the other room. She's still sewing the other blocks. But you got your real faux crystal. What do you call it, Joni?
Waterford crystal.
Real
Faux
faux Waterford crystal. Okay, you could see we were already working on some blocks. Joni was sewing out these. She did 3 at a time. And I'm going to plug my flash drive into the right-hand side of my machine. We're working with the Baby Lock Solaris today. I'm going to go into Embroidery. I'm going to click on the pocket. What's the matter?
It popped out. It's okay.
Our hoop's popping out.
I'll get it.
Okay, they were working on something here. They have saved the machine. That looks really cool. Those look like the wildflowers. Okay, so we're going to click on our flash drive. You should see a folder that says Knots of Luck Embroidery Designs. You're going to go ahead and select your format. Here's a couple different formats we have listed here. We have DST, EXP, HUS, JEF, PES is the one we're going to use. We have VP3 and XXX. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the PES folder. And then the first folder that we're going to click on now is going to be block number 1, the Celtic Heart Knot. Is Celtic?
Celtic.
Celtic. You know what? The basketball team always screws me up. You know, I always think
Celtics.
Celtics. Why are they called the Celtics and not the Celtics?
Yeah, right.
You know, any Boston people could care to explain that one. But we're going to click on the Celtic Heart Knot, block 1. And here we are going to choose our design. What size hoop do we have? A 10 5/8? We're using a big hoop. You could have used if you're using the 7.5 block, you can use a 8x8 hoop. We're going to be using this one. Oh, and I see a problem with this one. I must have loaded the flash drive wrong. So there's something I have to change already. So what we could do here.
We're keeping it real, folks.
We're keeping it real. I mean, we want to piece this together. I see there's something missing on here.
Do you want me to go over and get another
I need my laptop.
Where is your laptop?
I need my laptop. We're going to fix this right now.
I'll hold down the fort while you're gone.
So, okay.
We're back.
We're back. I'm going to fix this really quick, or as quick as I can. So I do use Palette 11 to digitize all of these. And Palette 11 just makes it very easy. I'm planning on using we're gonna be doing a show on Palette 11 soon. I don't know when, but we gotta squeeze in a time. But for finding the design, if you're doing the 7.5 and 7.5, I'll show you what's missing out of it. But that was strange that it wasn't included on there. I'm just going to add this step really quick.
I don't need it anymore. Yeah.
I could be giving a Palette 11 class right now about changing sizes. 7. Okay.
bringing Bernina's into the shop.
Yeah, yeah, you should see it.
Yeah.
If you're local and you want to check out the new Bernina's, Gloria's over there playing with them. John's playing with them. Steve is super excited. Carol, have you sewn on a Bernina before?
No, never. I'm anxious to try though.
Yeah, this is it's very exciting. Okay, that's good. Okay, and just like that, I have it fixed. Okay, sorry about that, everyone. This is not, you know, things don't go as planned all the time here.
Murphy's Law.
Yep. So this is all looking good now. I'm just gonna double check some things, make sure this file is good. It's good.
He flies through this stuff. It amazes me. My eyes can't even move this fast. Very
Okay, I promise we're gonna get started soon. Okay, we're good. Let's go back to the machine. Okay, so back at the machine, I have it put right here. So you can see that there was a tack down missing, this red line on the outside. That was our batting tack down. So we have our design. We're not going to move it or anything. You want to make sure it stays centered. You could also save it to the memory of your machine, so you can pull it up a lot easier next time you do it. But we're just going to click into Embroidery. And we are going to sew the placement, and that will be, let's go into the instructions. That will be step 3, machine step 1. So we'll go ahead and click start. So all this is doing is this is just a placement stitch for your entire block size. This is going to be the placement stitch for the batting as well, or you're going to use it as a placement for your batting. The batting tack down will be a little bit smaller, and you'll see that on the next step. You want to bring the...
I cannot tell a lie.
You want to say, you want to click through, you click through.
Okay,
I'm going to have Carol click through.
I can't tell a lie. Sometimes I skipped a step.
Yeah, yeah. This is an optional step.
Yep.
Oh,
this floor is crooked. Look at
yeah. Carol's rolling around. She's going to bump into everything.
I know.
Okay. So the next step is laying down our batting. That's the one thing we didn't cut. We didn't cut. I'll grab the batting. We like to use... what do we like to use, Carol? What did we use for this pillow? Fusible fleece.
The fusible fleece, correct.
We did use the fusible fleece.
You can just grab anything.
Let's grab anything.
Yeah.
I need a big 10 by 10
soft
piece.
And fluffy.
Oh, a 10 by 10. Okay.
Yeah. This is a 7.5 by 7.5 block. This batting is actually going to be like a 7 by 7 square. Just give yourself enough to trim around. Give yourself an extra 1.5 inches, 2 inches, just to, you know, so you have something to hold on to while you trim.
Yep.
So Joni is cutting something out for us.
Okay, here you go. All right.
And Carol's going to lay this down flat over top of the placement stitch. Hoop size is not listed. So you could use the smallest hoop size. Well, for the one we're using right now, you could use an 8 by 8. For the smallest pillow size, you will need a 6 by 10 to do the flange quilting. So yeah, that's the minimum hoop size. So if you wanted to use the 7.5 by 7.5 block, I mean, obviously you can't use a 6 by 6 hoop. So you'd use your 8 by 8 hoop for this one. Right now we're using the 10 5/8 by 10 5/8. Ideally though, you would want to use the smaller hoop. It would just make sure that you're gripping onto the stabilizer tighter. and things are less likely to shift around. You're less likely to knock things out of the hoop. Okay, now Carol's going to bring this up to the table, and we are going to trim around the batting close to the tack down stitch.
Do we have a duck bill?
We
Yeah.
do have a duck bill.
I like a duck bill.
Here, I'll let you take that out.
Thank you. If I can figure it out, can we?
She has one open. Here we go.
Thank you.
I'm listening to what you
Joni's, she's in the other room sewing away, and she's here for support.
They're
before
not cutting
screwing up.
very well.
They're not cutting well.
Here. I'll just grab these.
See, I like using the snips whenever I'm doing this part. That's just me, though. Yeah, so, okay, I mentioned before about voting. For those of you who don't know, we are up for an Empower Her grant by the Pittsburgh Penguins in 84 Lumber. Gloria will be, she's a top 3 finalist, and I think we're going to win this thing.
I've been voting every day.
Yeah, everyone's been voting every
Yep.
single day. I see it in the comments on our group. So thank you all for voting. And keep it up. We're almost at the finish line. I believe March 2nd is when the Penguin game will be versus the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they will announce the winner after the first intermission. So very exciting. If you want to vote, you can find the link on our website. You can find it on our Facebook page. Carol's all done trimming here. We're going to go back to the hoop. Go back to the machine, I should say. So now, Carol.
I've never sewn on a Solaris.
No?
No,
What machine do
and I
you
don't-
use?
I have an Alissimo, I have a soprano, and I have a cornet, and I have an Accomplish.
Okay. That's a lot.
Yep, no room
No,
for any more.
You know what? We have Berninas now, so you need a Bernina.
I need something.
So Carol is just laying the fabric over. This is a green moss shimmer.
You can tape it, but you know us. We fly by
Yeah.
the seat of our pants, and we just go roll with it.
Yeah. So nothing on the back of this. It's just the fabric.
This is a nice, quiet machine. My Alissimo is definitely noisier.
Yeah,
I like,
and you know what? This is loud compared to the new Radiance Avenir,
wow.
and we just got in that Bernina 990. I haven't even tested that out, but I'm very curious to see what the free arm. It has a free arm, so
It has a free arm.
it has a free
Wow.
arm, so you can kind of take out.
Yeah.
There's like a table right here, and you can take it out, and there's a free arm
Wow.
and a special hoop to go along with it. So your tack down stitch should go around 2 times. We're not going to trim after this step. We're just going to leave our extra hanging. And it's important that we're leaving extra hanging because we're going to trim it a little wider than this tack down stitch to give us a larger seam allowance.
Okay, do we have the gold thread ready?
The gold thread. Joni, you got the gold thread? Okay.
I think there were 2. Here you go.
There we go. You know what? Okay. So all of you should receive the embroidery thread, either the gold thread, or if you are a yearly subscriber, you got the metallic thread. And I think we may have thrown the metallic thread in a lucky few.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you're using the metallic thread, you're going to want to use your spool stand and you are going to babysit it the whole entire time. Unfortunately, I wouldn't leave it, let it go, because it will tangle on the spool stand.
Grab my little basket.
Okay. Here you go.
I swear I threw one in here.
What are you looking for?
A little spool cap.
Spool cap. Oh, we got tons. Look.
Oh my God.
So if you're using fusible fleece, what do you suggest? You would want it fusible side up. And after you tack this down, you would press it, right, Carol? Or would you wait to press it?
You can either or.
Either or.
You can press it before you start your stitching or after. We typically wait until after the embroidery's done and then we press it.
What shade of Kingstar Metallic would we use? I think
The MG1.
You like the MG1?
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, I think any of the golds will work.
Okay, we're good to go, I believe.
We're
Do I have
good.
this threaded correctly? Because I'm used to my Illissimo. Do I just...
Yeah. Well,
Is it-
normally
There's nothing?
Gloria broke this off.
I know,
She
I
got
noticed
angry.
that.
She had to rip out some. Oh, we
What?
forgot to thread the
Thread
needle.
that's right. Jeez, Carol.
There you go.
There we go.
So this is just a placement stitch for our first applique fabric. Now, our first applique, where did I put it? Did I hand it to you?
What?
The applique fabric.
No, you didn't. Hand me my bag.
I
know where I put that stuff. Never mind.
No, we're looking for a big 10 by 10 piece that already had hotfix on it. It's right in front of
What
me.
I brought from.
It's right in front of me. So, Carol, you don't like using hotfix, right? Not for a pillow.
No, not for embroidery or a pillow.
So what would you rather use? Like
Nothing.
nothing.
I used Terrio Magic on my applique.
I think on the sample we didn't use any hotfix or anything.
Nope.
Gloria loves hotfix, so we got to do what the boss says. And we got to use hotfix.
Typically, myself, if I was doing this at home, I would do Terrio Magic. It stiffens the fabric up.
Terrio Magic. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe we should have included that.
Yeah. And everybody, well,
Yeah.
from some of the previous things that I've done, like the Gloria Summer Quilt, we did a little demo of the Terrio Magic and how well it worked.
Okay.
And compared it to pieces that weren't done with Terrio Magic, and it made a big difference.
Yeah. I would like to use that. See, I just do the designs and I leave you ladies up to sew them out and make those decisions. So it's really nice I get to hear all these tips from other people. But we got hotfix on the back of our Hoffman batik fabric here. And she's just going to place it over those placement stitches. And I didn't include a cutting chart on this one. I think the cutting chart on my last one was just too confusing. What I like to do is I just measure. I grab my ruler and I just measure after my placement stitch. And I say, this is how much fabric I want to cut.
Typical guy.
Typical guy, yeah. I know, I don't even follow my own instructions.
And here's me. I've got, all my rulers out.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be as exact as I can.
Okay, so we are currently on machine step number 5. There's only 8 steps on this one. What day is St. Patrick's Day?
March 13th, it used to
March
always
13th.
be, but I'm not sure about that.
Okay, so they have time. They have time to make their pillows.
Yep.
If we could do this in one day, so can they.
Yeah, exactly. Do the embroidery one day and put it together the next day.
Yep.
March 17th.
March 17th. Oh, you have plenty of time. Plenty of time to get your pillow ready for St. Patrick's Day. We already asked you if you were Irish. You're not Irish. You're Czech, right? Or something?
Mine's 57.
You Pittsburghese.
Yeah, a little bit of. My great-grandfather came over from Austria, but I believe he came over via Poland through Austria and then to Ellis Island.
Yeah.
Because I have his papers from when he came into Ellis
Oh,
Island.
that's cool.
But my
That's
mother's
awesome.
side of the family is French-Dutch.
Yeah. See, my mom's side, Polish. Well, Joni could tell us all about that.
Yeah, exactly.
My grandpa was Polish, and my grandma, she was English. Okay, so we got this tacked down, and we're going to take it up to the table and trim around it. I could trim it.
Okay, squeezy snips.
I guess my grandma was the Irish one on my dad's side. Her last name was Williamson. I don't know, is that even Irish though?
I don't know. My
doesn't
mother's
sound
last
Irish.
name was Colette, which is obviously French.
Joni, was she Irish?
Yes, her maiden name
Was Murphy, right?
Murphy.
Murphy, yeah, that's Irish. Yep.
So that's where I get my Irish.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah.
See, I like to trim it as close as possible, but we make the satin stitch
yeah, it's
so wide
enough. Yep.
that there's a lot of give to it. So don't be too worried about cutting it super close, because you also have to worry about kind of trimming your stitches. You don't want to trim the stitches. But I might pull a Kathy Volpe. I always mention Kathy Volpe because it just amazes me of how fast she cuts things.
Yep.
And it also scares me too. Like, how'd you get so good at that? She just trims away. But you know what? The hot fix makes it very easy to trim. The batik wasn't hard to trim without it, but other fabrics where it frays a lot, the hot fix will definitely help.
If you do happen to nick your threads, it's no big deal because satin stitches cover it.
Yeah. The only bad thing would be is like probably cutting the background fabric. Maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Which size pillow are you guys doing?
We are gonna do the 14 by 14 pillow.
Mm-hmm.
So we're working with the 7.5 inch center block, and then we want to make sure our top block our second block is going to be 7.5 by 3.5, and then our corner blocks are going to be the 3.5 by 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? After you finish this too, like you could add another border around it too if you want to get real creative and add your own border around that. If you want to make a really big pillow, I don't know.
Have any of you guys done a flange pillow? They're so easy to
I
do.
bet
but it's-
the Kimberbell ladies,
Yeah.
all of you who watch Kimberbell probably have done that flange pillow.
Actually, that was where I learned how to do it. It was one of the it was the pillow with the pie on it. It was kind of a 4th of July pattern. I forget the name of it.
Yeah, Kimberbell is so good.
Yep.
It's unbelievable. It's like, well, how do they find these? Who's digitizing over at Kimberbell? Is it a group? Is it just?
Oh, I'm sure it's a group. I'm sure they pay nice for their digitizers, and I'm sure they have a whole group of them.
Yeah, I bet they have a designer.
They probably they're probably a year or more out in designs.
What's her name?
Kim? You mean the
Is it
donor?
Kim?
Kim or Chris?
Yeah.
And she designs her own fabric though. So like,
Yeah,
I think when
that's
she
Kim.
was when she was first starting out, was she digitizing? I would love to ask them that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get them
you'll
on.
probably meet them sometime.
Oh, I met her sister
Mm-hmm.
from my girlfriend's quilt shop.
Do
And
you
they were
think
very
they
nice.
know how to digitize, or they just hire people to do
No,
that?
I think they know how to do it.
Really?
I would imagine.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I should show up on one of their lives and ask her, do you know how
Yeah.
to digitize? Okay.
Okay. Now, do we want to press this? Press it first.
Is the iron on?
The iron is on.
All right.
So let's just press it. I'll let you do that.
Okay. Now, hot fix, you really have to hold the iron down a lot longer than you do with some of the other adhesives because it takes a while. But once it's on forever. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I do use Heat and Bond Light, and I do occasionally have instances where it lifts when I'm doing applique, but the hot fix doesn't ever. Okay, we're good to go.
Uh-oh. Did we knock this out?
Oh, did I?
No, we're good. I may have moved it. So it says, someone said Chris does some digitizing, but she did not design a line of fabric. I swear I saw, oh, is it that camera?
Am I knocking it with the chair?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I swear I saw on one of the Kimberville fabrics that it said her name on the fabric, designed by. But I could be wrong. Okay, so now we're doing the placement for this fabric, which we did not prepare at all. But that's okay. I'll just grab some out of this kit.
I never sewed this out, the embroidery, because you gave it to me to put the pillow
Yeah.
together and it was embroidered. So this is my first watching
first
it
go.
embroider out.
I think we're good. Yeah, I wouldn't hot fix this one. These are pretty. I don't know if it's thicker.
Is it
but
is it
this
the
is
shimmer?
this
No,
is
it's pretty stiff. It's stiff enough. It doesn't need
Starlight
anything.
Metallic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna hot fix the Starlight Metallic. I guess we could cut a bunch of little squares, right? I just need a ruler.
I'm liking this
Right in
Solaris
front
too
of me,
much.
Jenny. I got one. You like the Solaris?
I'm liking it too much.
We do. We have Solarises.
I know.
Trade-in Solarises at an extremely low price for any of those who want to buy Solaris. Okay. So how big should I cut these? Let's measure.
Cut what?
These little pieces. I was just gonna lay down a bunch of little,
Oh,
I guess 2-inch
two.
squares.
Yeah,
2.5.
Yeah.
Let's do.
give us a little give.
Let's do 2.5.
I could have left this in the hoop. I didn't need to bring it, unless you want to cut. You want to cut these out
That's what I'm. That's what
because
we're
you know
doing.
what? We don't have to. You can just lay the gold over. The gold is
Yeah. What I was gonna do is I was just gonna lay these out like
Right.
this.
right without
Yeah.
cutting out this center.
Oh yeah, we're
'Cause
not gonna
that-
cut out the center.
Yeah, right.
We
I
could
mean,
actually
that
do
would
that.
be instinct to cut those out, but you don't have to because
No. I mean, we could like that. That's another option of doing that.
right.
Instead of laying this fabric down, you could cut out the center of these hearts. That might look cool.
Yeah, that's true too. And then not use the gold,
And not
gold
use the
centers,
gold, yeah.
right? And then you'd have
You maybe
this
could use
showing
it.
through the
You
heart.
could use it for something else. You could use these as like corner blocks or
Yeah,
something.
right.
There's two.
Okay, I'll start on these.
another one. I really like to see what everyone did with the first one, the first box we did. You all were so creative, you know,
Yeah.
with
They did other things with it.
yeah, doing other things with it. I saw someone made 20 of them for
Yeah,
like a wedding
it
or
was, I think a shower.
a shower.
Yeah, that was great.
So Carol's just pressing pause between these here. Any way you want to do it. They're saying to move this so they can see.
Last piece.
Oh, I didn't give it to you.
Yeah.
Okay. So after we lay this last piece down and we tack it down, we're going to trim it. And then we'll talk about the next block and what we're going to do with that one. Okay.
Get me to trim?
It doesn't matter. If you want to trim, you could trim.
Sure.
So she's going to trim these pretty close to the tack down line and then return it back to the hoop, and that's when the gold satin stitch is going to cover everything. And that's your final step. Let's see, do we have the other blocks?
Let's see, you have, this Gloria.
I'm gonna want to show them these
Okay.
because these were done different than the way I have in the instructions.
Do you have 4 there or just 3? Are you gonna do one?
Well, we're gonna do one live, so.
Mm-hmm. You need a hoop or anything?
Oh, could you hoop a 6x10?
Yeah, with
No show.
no show. Okay.
What else is there? So I did want to talk about, well, clearly there was a mistake on this 7.5-inch block. Today, check your email. I have to send out to all of you corrected files for this 14x14 pillow. That 7.5 block should have the red tack down stitch for the batting, and if it doesn't have that, I wouldn't sew out that size. I would, if you can, use the other
Yeah,
sizes.
make a bigger one.
Make a bigger one. We like the big pillows. But I'll definitely get that to you today. There was also something with the flange quilting on the smaller pillow that I overlooked, or something must have happened whenever we were transferring the designs. But I'll show you that whenever we get to it. And then, yeah, so we're going to do the gold satin stitch. And then we're going to use a scan and cut. I have a scan and cut demo for you if you guys have scan and cuts, and I'm going to show you how to put the designs in the scan and cut. Because I did not give the SVG files but we're going to make them with our scan and cut. Thank you. Got your gold in?
Yep.
Okay. All right, and while this is sewing out, we are going to move on to the next block. So I just had the other blocks. Okay, if we can get a shot of these blocks here. So this is the next one we're doing. This is the sailor's knot block. I think it's called the sailor's knot block because it's good luck for sailors or something.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's what it was called, so I had to call it that too.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to use the scan and cut. So if you zoom in extra close, Kate, we do have an option.
Ignore this.
Ignore this one? Okay,
ignore this.
Oh, what happened here?
I accidentally cut it with.
Oh no, we cut it.
That's okay.
It's okay. We'll make another one.
No, it'll
And you know
work.
what? I have another one in my car. I actually have this exact size cut out in my car.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just sitting in my car. I don't know why. But if you zoom in, Kate, you can see that these are fill stitches. This isn't actually the fabric that we cut out. And in the instructions, you could see, zoom out a little bit, we do the applique and we cut out those little spots right there. But I do have an option in the stick for fill stitches. If you don't want to do all that trimming, you don't have a scan and cut, you could use the fill stitch option. Okay, so.
You fill stitch this?
Yeah, those are all fill stitches.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't even notice
right,
that.
it's hard to tell.
It blends so well into the...
Yeah, so
Wow.
If you plan on doing the fill stitches in the green, ES995 is the thread color we use that matches this fabric perfectly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh,
So,
I didn't even realize that till you pointed it
can't
out.
see
Where should I go,
Wow.
Kate? Should I just stay over here to use the scan and cut? Or should I bring it up to the table? Because I could use it over here. I just got to move my peep.
Yeah, over here.
I'll get out of your way.
Okay. Here's my peep.
Oh, that's so
People are wondering why did I call it peep in the garden? I don't know why. I thought it sounded funny because someone walked in and I said I have to go get my peep in the garden. They're like, "There's a peep in your garden." It can mean different things.
Yeah.
Okay, we are gonna go head over to the scan and cut, and hopefully our cabinet doesn't roll away on us.
Go ahead.
So first I'm going to show you if this will turn on. You know, it's probably not even plugged in. It's not plugged in. Let me plug it in first. We're going to power on our scan and cut SDX 325. Now the SDX 325 can read embroidery designs. I didn't give you SVG files, so you'll have to go in and create the SVG file yourself. Sharon, Gray is okay. He's getting better. Gray was sick. My babies are sick. So Mary's sick now, which is not good.
Aw.
But she'll make it. She'll be good. Okay, so we're on the scan and cut main screen. I'm going to plug in my flash drive. We are going to go to retrieve data. I'm going to click on the flash drive. We're going to click into the Knots of Luck embroidery designs, and we're going to pull up that embroidery design. So I'll have to go in PES. So PES, we're going into block 2, sailor's knot, and we're going to find the correct size. The correct size is 7.5 by 3.5. That's not the right one. I can tell it's not the right one because when I clicked on it, it says 7.5 by 4.5. So I just got to find the correct size. There we go. So now I have my embroidery design on here. I'm going to click on the flower. We are going to hotfix our applique fabric, so we're going to leave this the same size. And then, okay, so I clicked OK. Just leave the size there, click OK. We're going to click on the stitches one. There's 3 options here. You have like different outlines of shapes. You have an outline of the entire thing. And we have our stitches. So I'll click on the stitches. I'm going to ungroup everything by unhighlighting that. Usually it pops up highlighted, blue like that. I'm going to unhighlight it, click set. So now I have to break apart this design. And I'm going to click on that, click off of it. Here's our satin stitch. We don't want our satin stitch, so I'm going to click on edit. I'm going to click delete. It's going to say okay, delete, yes. This is the one we want to save, okay? So we want to cut that out. And I don't want the rest of this other stuff. Instead of going through and deleting them one by one, I'm going to delete all of them at once by clicking on these 3 boxes. You click on the 3 boxes, and you have 2 options to select your different objects on the screen. We are going to do, let's just do this one, the second option, and it will select everything, okay? So now after I selected everything, I want to unselect what I want to keep because I'm selecting things to delete. I want to unselect this. I don't want to delete that. So I have all of these selected. We'll click OK. And then those should just be selected. I'll click my garbage can and delete everything except for this. And you should be left over with just that cutting file. In that cutting file, we'll cut everything out. So now we have to lay our fabric on the fabric mat, wherever I put the fabric mat. So we'll go up to the table. I have hot fix on the back of it. And honestly, I couldn't find my other mat, so I had to use this one. This is just the low tack mat. And it seems pretty sticky. Yeah. Now, I don't need this big of a piece, so I'm just going to trim this a little larger. I might be wasting some fabric. That's okay.
We work in a cloth store.
And I'm just going to lay this vertically, as straight as I can, right on top there. I'm going to smooth it out with my hand. They do have tools that you can use, a roller, where you could roll it onto the mat, make sure everything's sticking. We just want to make sure it's nice and flush with the mat. There's no air bubbles. None of our corners are picking up. This is good. We're good to insert it into our machine. So I'll go over to my machine. The blade I have in is the standard cutting blade. It just has this black handle. It's our standard cutting blade. We are going through a layer of hot fix and fabric. So we're not going to use the fabric blade. The fabric blade's a little thinner and it might not cut through this thick of material because the hot fix is on the back. So I'm going to make sure my arrow is pointing towards the machine. I'm going to slide it in between the 2 marks that are on the sides here, the 2 little indents. And I'm going to click on the screen here, the mat loading button. Once I click that, it will say loading. It will take in your mat a little bit. And it will spit it back out. And if it doesn't prompt an error, everything's good. Now we have to go click OK. We have to get back to this screen. Block the light. And I'm going to click on the scan button. So we'll scan that. It's going to ask us, is it okay to start scanning? We have a 12 by 12 mat in. Oh, it didn't even ask me what size mat. But it's going to scan our mat. And these take unbelievable pictures. I was helping my mom out with her cruise project. And we had to scan something out from one of the fabrics that are going to be on the cruise because we're making a special design for you all that are attending the cruise. and the picture is like crystal clear. It is unbelievable. So I have my scanned image. I have my design here. I'm just going to click and drag it and make sure that it's going over top. And let's see. You can kind of see a faint image in the background. I can make it come up more. Now you can really see that it's overlapping. That's okay. I clicked OK. We'll click Please Select. And then Cut. And then for the cut settings, you want to make sure it's on pressure auto, speed 5, and half cut is off. We could do a test to make sure we're not cutting through our mats, but I'm too impatient and I'm just going to risk it and click Start.
Meg is asking if you can use the roller blade.
The roller blade, yeah, the roller blade works well. The roller blade, it takes a little longer to cut because it has to readjust the rotary cutter. So it's like a rotary cutter blade that's in your machine. And to change angles, it actually has to like physically change it. And it just takes a little longer. This takes, it says 3 minutes left in cutting. It's going to cut everything out. It might go over it 2 times. So it has, it says auto for the pressure. It actually senses how thick the material is by digging its blade. I don't understand how it works, but it's sensing how thick the material it is. It may need to apply more pressure to cut something that's thicker. It may need to not apply as much pressure if you're using a thinner material. But it's going to cut out all of these blocks or all of these little shapes that are on the inside. And where did I put my flash drive? Is this the flash drive we were using? So we'll wait for this to cut out. We could, while it's cutting out, we could go head over to that other machine. We'll first come up to the table. So for the next one, we are doing the sailor's knot. And we need, same thing, just hoop your stabilizer. We're hooping no-show stabilizer. We're going to be using a 6x10 hoop, and we're going to create this block inside this hoop. And you'll do this 4 times to create your pillow. So let's go head over to the other machine, and we'll start the sewing out. Joni, do you want to sew this one?
Sure.
Okay. Yep, this machine right here. Do we want to turn her mic off so So Joni already has the design loaded, but we're not using this one.
Okay. So
Okay.
all right.
We're going to plug the flash drive in.
All right.
And I'll shout out to them which ones you're clicking. So go ahead and click delete this one.
Okay. So I'll just go back to.
Joni is sewing on the Brother Avenir.
Okay.
She'll go to her pocket.
And then to the USB stick.
Yep, she'll click on the USB, then the Knots of Luck embroidery design folder.
Okay.
Click on PES,
Yes.
and then block 2 sailor knot.
Block 2. Okay.
Okay, and then you're going to look for one that says 7.5 by 3.5.
I see block.
I see them right there.
Oh, this one.
Maybe that one, maybe the second one. So
Well,
just
maybe
click.
Okay, maybe it's.
Okay, that's,
No.
you got the right one.
Okay.
It says it right here.
Okay.
7.5 by 3.5.
Okay.
There's 4 colors. There's 6 color changes. Go ahead and click set.
Okay.
And embroidery, that's the right one.
Okay. And the first color is
You could use,
the,
well,
the gold.
Carol has the gold. Where didn't we have 2 golds?
Right.
So she's gonna thread in her gold thread because that's the only thread color we're gonna be using on this one. if you were doing the fill stitches one, your first color would be that green to match the background. And it's just one extra step added after your applique is done.
Okay, and I'm just gonna, let's see. Embroidery. Okay.
Just start this up, and just like block one, it's going to do a placement stitch
For the back.
for the batting, for the fabric too. You could, if you wanted to do two at a time. Now, that's the thing. Like you could do two at a time, but they're not gonna, like, you're not gonna sew this one out, and then the other one's not gonna sew out as well. So you'll have to do 4 hoopings of this one.
Okay.
But if you just want, just to make things, make sure there's not a lot of stitches pulling and pushing on the stabilizer. Things might shift the more stitches you add to it. So I would just hoop it every single time and do one at a time. But now she's placing her batting, and we're going to tack down the batting and then trim it whenever it's done.
That you use for the fill stitches.
For the green thread we used for the fill stitches, we used ES 995. Let me check. 995. We used ES 995.
Next.
No, we don't have it in the system. That's our next step, is getting all our dime threads on our website for you all to buy. Okay, now Joni is just going to trim around the batting here.
Gloria likes the other little scissors for this because the points get kind of stuck in the back.
Yeah.
But I'm doing okay. The placement stitch. What fabric are we using for the?
We are going to use, we have a cut over here. We should have had it cut. I don't think we have it cut.
Okay.
We are using this Whisper Weave
Okay.
green.
I could just.
Here, let me cut a piece for you. Okay.
Okay. There you go. I'll just lay that underneath.
Okay, now she will tack down. Oh, wait.
Good.
I think we skipped a step
Okay.
by
So
accident.
that's here. We'll cut that.
Yeah, cut that.
Okay.
But that's okay. You don't have to rip that out or anything. The applique is gonna
Okay.
cover that up. So go back a step.
Okay.
So machine step number 3.
So that was 4. You want 3?
1, 3. 3 is the tack down. So we were using that previous
Okay.
That first stitch was actually the placement for the fabric.
Okay. Okay.
Now step 3 is the tack down. That doesn't look too good, does it?
Yeah, it's fine.
No, it does. So I stepped away from this,
Okay.
and I think I didn't put the hot fix on good enough
Oh, really?
whenever we
Okay,
were
let's
putting the
see.
hot fix on.
Oh,
So
okay.
it shifted while I was cutting out,
Oh,
and it
okay,
didn't cut it out.
Oh, so we can't use it? Are we gonna
Uh,
cut another one?
here.
Yeah.
We could use the fill stitches, or we could show them how to trim it out.
Okay.
Because this is a mess.
Okay.
This is a mess. See, it didn't cut this one.
Yeah.
So it
all right,
messed up.
All right.
It messed up in the scan and cut.
It shifted, do you think?
It shifted, yeah.
Okay. All right. So what
probably
should we do?
what I probably would have done was used a stickier mat and then put the fabric face down.
Okay.
And that's what I would have done to solve that. But if you're going to go create your own cutting file, just know if you use the low tack mat, there's a chance that it could shift around
Okay.
and do that.
So instead of doing it over, we're going to use the stitches instead? Or
I think we should just applique it and just do an applique piece and cut out all the little applique pieces.
Okay. So.
Okay?
All right.
So I'll grab you a piece to applique down. Can I borrow that really quick?
Do we have the other side, the other short side to the pillow?
That's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be.
Oh, that's right then. Okay.
Okay. So let's see.
Okay. So that
See.
has
That's
hot fix on it, right?
yeah.
Okay.
So hard to peel.
Yeah. You know what?
See.
We
Look.
need our
It wasn't.
yeah,
It wasn't
we
heated
need our
up.
little tool that's in the drawer.
A scoring
For your
tool.
Scoring tool.
Let's see if I get this corner.
But one corner doesn't work. I always go to the next corner.
See, it's not. I don't think we heated up our hot fix enough
Okay.
when we were prepping it. Yeah, we gotta iron this a little better.
Is there hot fix on it?
Yeah, there's hot fix on it. You just Carol's gonna iron it. Slight delay in this one. Now, if we had this one cut out correctly, you know what? While she's doing that, maybe I'll
Okay.
try to cut out another one. Okay? You want to check in on this one, Kate? Could you switch the camera so they could watch this one stitch out? This one's almost done. Okay. Looks like we have, it says on the screen, we just have 4 more minutes until our center block is done. So I'm going to double check my scan and cut blade because we have used this one quite a bit. I'm thinking maybe I need a replacement blade. So I just took off the little cap on the top and we're going to see if there was a little bit of gunk inside there as well. I'm going to reinsert my blade and I'm going to try to cut this out again.
Yeah.
But we'll go back over to Joni.
Okay.
Do you have it? Did you hot fix it, Carol?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want to get the scoring tool in the drawer?
I don't know.
Let's see if it will. Or you know what to use here, the tip of the scissors?
It's good now.
Okay.
Good now. What do we wait for the scan and cut, or do we just say, let's cut it out? There's a lot of little pieces to cut out.
Mm-hmm. Well, why don't we cut it out, because what do you think? Do you want to wait? There are a lot
Well,
of little...
I feel like not a lot of people have the scan and cut. I mean, there
Okay.
are a lot of people that have the scan and cut. Let's show them what they have to do
Okay.
to cut all these little pieces out.
Okay.
So just go ahead and tack it down.
All right. So we're going to sit. Okay. Okay. And now we're going to sew it again, or do we cut this?
Oh, that was a placement stitch. So it was going to do the placement stitch here. So you tacked it down with the placement. But go ahead and tack it down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So now this is going to have all the little
Yep. all
little
the little pieces
pieces
that we
we'll
have
cut by hand.
to cut by hand. Did it again. See the, I'll show them what's going on. Okay, can you bring it up to the top screen here? So, I'll show you what's going on with the scan and cut. I think the blade stall. I haven't had this problem before. It should have cut it out fine. But if we zoom in here, we could see maybe since we didn't hot fix it good enough, or it's like peeling up. Like you can see the hot fix here. The hot fix it's not fused. It's not fused to the fabric.
Was that the piece that I just did?
No, that wasn't the piece you just did. See, I threw in another piece and the hot fix it's not fused.
Do we have?
So if you're using the cutting machine, fuse your hot fix.
Really well.
Really well.
Follow the directions.
Yes. And fuse that hot fix. Well, it says like hold it for like 30 seconds on each spot.
It's a long time. It's like 15 seconds.
Yeah, so that I believe that's the problem that we're having with the scan and cut here. We'll wait.
You hold it down so long that you feel like you have to go get the fire extinguisher
Yeah.
just in case.
Right. Now, heat and bond, is that the same?
Heat Bond Light is the same kind of product. Hot Fix is thicker, and Hot Fix kind of melds into the fabric where Heat and Bond Light just kind of lays over the surface. It
Yeah.
just-
So
Yeah.
I see Sharon is suggesting fabric side down instead of the
instead of the Hot Fix. Side
instead of the
down.
hot fix. I wonder why that is. You figure it's cutting through all those layers
Yeah, right.
anyways. I figured that the paper was easier to stick to the mat,
Yeah, right.
but that's probably right. It's like the fabric is probably shifting while like the paper
While the
and
blade's rolling.
yeah, while the blade's going, the paper is sticking to the mat. Good, but you want the fabric because the fabric is more likely to shift than the paper.
Exactly.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Fabric side down. I'm still kind of a rookie at this game. That's my excuse. Do we have another piece to test that out? No.
Where would the piece that I hot fixed?
It's
what did
Joni just tacked it down.
Oh, okay. You want to build another piece and try it again? You want to put a new blade?
Sure,
Do you
we'll
want
move
put
on
a
to
new
block.
blade?
We'll move on to block 3, and we'll try out, like, if you could hot fix a piece for us
Sure.
out of this. Here's one that's already cut.
Yep.
So if you could hot fix that, we're gonna try this again.
Third time's the charm.
Third time's a charm. Good lesson. That's where we make mistakes.
Yep.
And we all know you guys like to see our mistakes because we're not
Yep.
trying to hide. We're not trying to hide our mistakes.
Yep.
Everyone makes mistakes.
We're not perfect.
We're not perfect. That's correct. But we'll move on to block 3. Joni will try to. I'm gonna make her trim out all those little things. Joni's gonna trim out all those.
He's trying to talk
Me into getting a scan and cut.
So yeah, we'll move on to block 3. And for block 3, we need a small hoop. This will be good. 6x6 hoop.
Where's your
I'm gonna
fabric?
be in your way
That's all
for
right.
1 second. I just need the no-show. Do you have the no-show?
No, I don't.
No no-show.
Look on the other cutting table.
Yeah, found some in here. Okay. Change of plans. We're moving on to block 3 while we have another shot. And while my Aunt Joni, while she is busy, I'm probably going to break her hands. There's a lot of little pieces to cut out. And that's how I cut these ones out. You could tell if you zoom in. Let's compare them side by side. Before, and yes, whoever said that test cut, we'll do a test cut next time first. I guess that's why the feature is there. So you could see on this, I mean, you can barely tell the difference, right, Carol?
Yep.
You can't.
Oh, I agree.
You can't tell the difference.
Nope.
So using the fill stitches, Joni, how about we just do the fill stitches? We could do the fill stitches.
Okay.
Change my mind again.
Okay, so I'm not doing this.
Do it anyways.
Okay.
We're gonna do the fill stitches. Let's
Okay.
just.
All right.
Let's just. This is how we're gonna fix it. If you go into this and you're like, oh, I'm gonna snip all of these out, and then you're like, oh gosh, this is a lot of work. We're gonna switch to the fill stitches. So let's go back over to that machine, and we're just gonna put in the fill stitch block, and it should line up perfectly. You won't have to
Okay.
recenter it or
Okay.
anything.
Mhm.
Let's just do the fill stitches.
Do
We're
we need to cut around the
not
edge?
yet. Not yet. We don't
Okay.
have to yet. So
Okay.
this is how we're gonna fix it, and it's gonna cover up all those stitches too.
Okay. So let's see. So we're gonna go back.
So
Flying by the seat
let's
of our
go-
pants.
delete
it.
this off the screen.
Okay. So we'll just let's see. Okay.
We're gonna go to embroidery.
Okay.
I don't know why I didn't just think of this in the first place. We should have just done the fill stitches.
Well.
Okay, pocket.
Okay. And then we're gonna
Flash
go
drive.
And lucky knots of luck.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll leave this here to cool.
PES. Okay, and then
to block 2.
block 2.
Now, to find the fill stitch blocks, what you're going to do is there's a fill version,
Okay.
and there's a folder with all the fill stitch blocks.
Well, that's good to know.
Okay, and now
then-
you'll go find that same size block.
Okay, so it will be.
So it might be this one. It might be the second one.
This one right here.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Right,
the one.
Yeah, that's it.
Click set.
3.5.
Do you want to
Okay.
check it with the projector first, just to
Sure.
make sure?
Mhm. Okay.
But I think we'll be fine.
All right. So we're going to go to embroidery, and we'll turn the projector on. And it's the projector is turning on.
Or how about a picture? Yeah, it doesn't matter. You can use the projector, the picture,
Mm-hmm. This should be
whatever.
perfect,
I want to
'cause
see the
was-
big projector though on this Avenir.
Okay. Oh, here. Okay. There we go. There it is. It looks like it's perfect.
That looks perfect.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's perfect.
Yeah. All right.
Let's not worry about it here. Let's see. Yeah, it's good.
Mm-hmm. So I don't have to trim anything yet.
Don't have to trim anything.
Okay.
So
So we'll return. Its projector is turning off, and the carriage of the embroidery unit will move. Okay. There we go. And then I'll just start to sew.
well, not yet. We have to
Okay.
skip ahead to the fill stitches. So put in
Okay.
your ES 995 for your
Oh.
thread color.
Oh, okay.
That's scan and cut. We're going to be doing the scan and cut in our spring event. So I have some things in mind. John is helping me make a project. I guess we're in a competition with Tiffany and
Oh,
with
really?
the Kimberbell group.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
so we have to that we get bragging rights. I think our last event we took the cake, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think we had a really good class.
Oh yeah,
So-
I think they really enjoyed your class.
So
I
we-
think
we
they
have to
thought
be-
that was one of the best ones.
So now
they
it's a
wanna-
competition.
Okay.
Yeah.
all
Okay,
right.
so now-
we're going to go to layout.
We're going to go to the plus minus for the
Okay.
stitches, and you're going to skip ahead all the way to step number 6.
Okay, so there's 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Yep.
Right.
Step
okay.
6,
Okay, now just say okay.
and then you could start stitching it out, and if it starts to mess up, that's okay.
Yeah. Mhm. No, I think it's going to be perfect. There it goes. No, it's perfect.
Yep, it went right over
Mhm.
those tack down stitches.
I think that's the way to do it.
That's the way to do
If
it.
you don't have to skin and cut. Yeah.
Use the fill version folder. And it's going to do each one. So instead of watching this sew all the way through, and it looks like, it's quite some time. There's a lot of jumps.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
going to let
okay.
this one stitch out,
Mhm.
and we're going to start on that block number 3. And then we have to do the flange quilting. And what time is it?
It
We've-
is
an hour and a half.
4:30.
This next one is going to be quick, so we'll go up to the table here.
Mhm.
Oh, Carol's already started on it. Yep. Carol hooped the no-show. We got to pull up the designs for you. I'll go get the flash drive. We'll plug in our faux Waterford Crystal flash drive. And then click on embroidery, the pocket.
See, I'm not used to doing
Oh, the
this.
pocket's down here.
Okay. And then flash drive.
Yep.
And then knots of block embroidery
Yep.
designs down to PES, block 3.
And then you have the 3.5.
Okay. Set.
Same thing with
Oh
this
yeah,
one.
we're going to do a placement stitch first.
Yep.
Embroidery, and I can keep the gold in.
And then
Okay.
I have a little piece of batting cut out. So she's going to sew the placement stitch of the background fabric.
piece of batting. What'd I do with that batting? I think it's on the other table.
This is the batting.
We are going to
Yeah.
get a little piece of batting here to lay down. Okay.
You know, I had a piece cut out too. There's just so many things. Yeah.
All right, we're going to cover these batting stitches. Make sure we're good. And hit the start button.
So after it's done stitching the green out, you're going to want to cut it out.
After, yeah, before it does
The gold, yeah.
yeah.
And here's your green.
Am I on?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, we got a trim.
Oh, that's right.
We got a trim. You can hand it to me. I'll just do the trim real quick and then I'll pass it back.
I'll change this thread while you're doing that.
Yep. Okay. Here's your hoop back.
All right, thank you. Gonna place our fabric. And then it's more than big enough. Hit the start button.
Yeah, make sure to cut your fabric a lot larger than the tack down stitch. Like I said, I just want to make sure everyone does that. Carol, what you like to make the seam allowance 1/2 inch?
Yes,
Yeah. And
just to sew. It gets trimmed after it's sewed to get
Oh, okay.
sewn together.
and that just makes it easier to
You
grab.
know what? Oh, no, we're okay. We're just a shadow. I thought we were off.
It just makes it easier to sew, just more to grab onto.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you press the seams open? What? Or
No. To the side. But when you're assembling the top and attaching the sides and the top and the bottom, you iron the seams so that they nest when you sew. I'll show you. You'll
Okay,
see.
and this is the last step. So this one's fairly simple.
Yep, easy peasy.
Easy block. You'll create 4 of these. So you'll do this 4 times. You could try to do all 4 designs at once in a big hoop.
And if you notice, the design isn't concentric, so that when you're putting your corner squares, you're attaching them to the sides. Decide where you want those points. I think on our pillow, I pointed them to the inside.
I
You
think
can point them outside, whatever way you want, but be conscious of that because it's not concentric.
yeah. It might look cool putting that point to the outside.
Yeah, right.
We can lay it out and just see what it will look like.
Yep.
Do we have a big strip for the flange? Did we have an
I'm
extra
glad
one?
we decided to go with that thicker stitch because it really shows up nice.
Should be long enough. measure it. So, while this is stitching out now, I guess let's look at our first block. So what, Carol, you were just trimming this,
Yes.
and she's not done trimming it. Looks like she just has one side left to do.
Yep.
So how do you go about trimming it? You flip it over.
Yes, flip it over and trim it a half an inch out from the batting.
Half an inch out from the batting.
That's it.
And that was easy enough. That was fairly quick. A lot easier than the second block we
All
did.
of the pieces I've cut a half an inch beyond the batting.
Okay.
When we go to sew, though, however, we're going to be stitching on the batting line, or as close to it as we can get. And I like a little bit of an extra out here when I am sewing, just to give me something to hold on to if I need to in case of things shifting, though, because I really don't use pins. I like using wonder clips.
Okay.
We're going to use wonder clips.
So these are stitching out. I think Joni is almost done with her block over there.
Right, is the 6
We're looking for a 6x10 hoop to do our flange. So I'll show you what we're going to be creating. We're going to be making these flange borders, and we're going to do it in 2 hoopings. So it's actually a split design, and we are going to connect them. You can see there's 2 pieces of batting here, and it's split in the middle. So there's going to be, you need to hoop it twice for this design. And we're going to wait for Joni to find that hoop.
Is this a good piece?
That's a good piece.
Was it? It was up here. I think you moved it to show buttons.
We had one that was cut, right? That's okay.
Yeah.
No biggie.
My bad. My bad.
Okay, so I'm going to go help Joni find
Okay.
this. She found it. Where'd you find it?
I put it away.
She put it away. Oh my gosh, we put it away.
Put what away?
The hoop.
Oh dear God.
Well, that's unusual for us. We
Here, we
usually
don't need this anymore.
we just throw things to the side.
Yeah, chop chop. Get it out of here. Clean table. We're not using this piece of gold with a hot fix on it anymore.
No.
Okay, do the Eleanor Burns thing. Just toss it.
Okay.
All right, so I put it away instead of just setting it down.
Oh, you know, let's use the machine in here since we're all in here.
Okay.
And that's
And
done.
we're done. Yep.
All right. So we're bringing up the.
Yeah, and I have the flash drive in my back pocket.
That's a good place for it.
Well, I have somehow I ended up with 2 flash drives. I don't know how that happened.
Glad you didn't sit down.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
we are gonna go do this flange now. We're just, you could hit home, you could delete that design, whatever you want to do.
Is the stick in?
There is a stick in. I'm
Okay.
hoping it's the right one.
Here,
Pockets in the
pocket.
bottom right.
Yep. And Knots of Luck Embroidery. Go down to PES. And we're doing
The flange quilting folder.
quilting.
So now we want, so to do this pillow, we needed to do if we look at that sheet that we had before, where's our sheet?
Over to the left.
It was somewhere. Anyways, on the sheet, it would have said you use these design combinations. The strip sizes, strip 1 and 2, are going to be 13.5 inches. So you would go in and find 13.5 on the screen.
Are we doing a short side or a long side?
We're doing a short side.
Okay,
We've
so
already,
we're using the 13.5 strip.
we did a 13.5 strip. So you're going to click on that 13.5 folder. We
Okay.
have two options. We haven't done a sample of this, but I kind of want to make our pillow look all the same. So we'll do flange option 1, and you're going to start with flange 1A. So you'll see that letter A after the title. So that's your first part, and then your second part will be B. So let's start with A.
Okay, do we have,
Batting.
Batting,
Correct.
I'll get you batting.
And we'll,
Okay.
let me sew the placement
so
stitch.
she'll start the placement stitch. And this placement is for the batting. Now when preparing to cut these strips, like if you have a 13.5-inch strip, give yourself extra room. Cut it like 15 inches,
Okay.
16 inches.
This might be too short. Yeah. So
Oh no,
what-
you're good. You're good.
Okay.
That looks good.
Okay.
So let me say something. You go ahead and tack down.
Okay,
So she's going to tack down the batting. Now all these strips are the same width. When you're preparing to cut your strips for the hoop, you're going to want to cut it. What did I cut this one?
About 4 inches.
About 4 inches or a little over 4 inches. This gives you enough room for the tack down stitches that go on either side. You can kind of see on this block here, or on this strip here, you can see our tack down stitches right there. And you just want enough room for it to grab the fabric. Also, if you want to do a 1/2-inch seam allowance, you want even more. But this should be more than a 1/4 inch. It's just about a 1/4 inch. So if you do a 4 inch, you'll have to really line it up and make sure that everything's properly aligned so that you have a 1/2-inch seam allowance. But we're good. If you cut right on the line, that would give you the 1/4 inch seam allowance. Jean wants me, you, and Joni to come help her do this.
who does?
Jean. She said it in the comments.
Okay. As long as she lives close, I'm not getting on an airplane anytime soon.
I know all the airplane
Yeah, I'm
crashes
gonna wait a while here.
are crazy.
You want me to trim?
Did you see in Toronto? I guess
The flipped over one.
the flipped over plane.
Unbelievable.
How does that even happen? I saw it was very icy and
Yep.
yeah.
Well, my cousin's husband was an air traffic controller for years at Pittsburgh International
gosh.
Airport, and
How stressful is that?
yeah, very stressful. And he had his own plane, and he used to do. I haven't heard stories of some of the people that he carted around, but he did his own charter for a while, and he's flown some famous
Whoa.
people. But they don't fly.
No?
They don't fly. They refuse to fly now, which scares me because
Wait, why don't they
he's
fly?
because he's
Wasn't there something going
he's afraid,
on?
because he's afraid to. I guess when you're an air traffic controller or working in an airport, you know all the things that could go wrong.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
You know?
I mean, didn't Boeing release something about their planes not I don't know, something with the manufacturer, like they had a bunch of recalls to their planes or something?
Well, yeah, and that goes back to when those bolts come off and the doors fell off of that airplane.
Well, yeah, so
Yeah.
Showed him this that
The fill stitch. And
oh,
then I
there's the
cut
fill
around,
stitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Joni's finishing up. She has our fill stitches done. Much easier than cutting out. Much
Yeah,
faster.
much
It
faster.
takes, I'll have to say, cutting out, it looks good, but it takes about 3 hours to cut out. And you got to do 4 of these. Do the fill
Yeah.
stitches much faster.
Unless you're very patient.
Unless you're very patient and you like to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's therapeutic.
That's me.
And yeah. So she's going to go ahead and thread her gold thread and then do the decorative stitching, and that will finish off that block.
And we're gonna
And now we're going to
same
put
on
this back in the hoop.
do you have a flange piece cut?
I do. Okay, so this is an important step. When we're placing this flange, you want it to extend above about like an inch or two, or I don't know how long that strip is. I would do it an inch and make sure that it's straight, you know, like you don't want like a crooked strip and it's going to veer off to the side whenever you go to sew your second part. Make sure
Yep, I'm actually going to line it up.
So
really
actually
good.
you have a placement stitch next. So before you place your strip down, we're going to do a placement stitch.
Okay, okay,
So-
that's right.
So here comes a placement stitch, and this might make it easier for
Yeah.
you to line up. So machine step number 3 is a placement for your fabric. And it's about it should be a 4-inch rectangle it makes. 4 inches wide, at least. So you could line up your edge of the fabric right along those, that placement line. And then whenever the tack down stitch happens, it's going to come in a little bit towards the center and it will tack down your fabric.
Oh, good.
Now, okay, here's the problem with the flash drive. If you're doing the smaller strips, anything below the 15.5, there was a mistake and it starts the stitch down below here and then it goes up. That makes everything harder. You can still do it. It's just going to make everything harder. It's going to make your life a little harder. So in the email tonight, if you're doing a smaller pillow, I have to send out the whole folder again to everyone of the corrected designs. I went ahead and corrected it before we did the show, but I wouldn't do your flange strips right now with us. And I'm sorry about that, and I'll send them out as soon as I can after this show. But now she's going to tack down the fabric.
I never sit when I embroider at home. I stand. For some reason, it just gives me a better angle on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
A better perspective.
Okay, and you laid that one pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So now, for part A, it's easy. You don't have to worry about lining things up.
We're doing
You're going to do gold thread.
right, exactly.
So she's going to put her gold thread in now.
This is my favorite part of the pillow.
Do you like doing this?
Yeah, I do.
I think it's a cool. I saw
yeah,
Kimber Bell
because
does
she-
something like this,
Yeah, they connect it
and that's where
to connect it to.
I mean, even how they thought of that is just like genius.
oh,
You know,
really?
right?
Mhm.
Like, if for those of you who have done this in Kimber Bell before, it's so cool how it like opens up your creativity of like, oh, what you can do in embroidery and in digitizing. You can literally sew and digitize. It's amazing.
Right. Yeah.
Elizabeth, your box hasn't chipped. Either USB corrected. I'll make sure they correct it. If none of them have shipped out, or if some of you are still waiting for those to ship out, I'm gonna go to shipping today, and I'm gonna pull the orders that they put away, or pull the orders that they're about to ship out, and then we'll correct those flash drives. So double check your tracking number. Double check your email to make sure that they didn't send out your box today. But still, I'm going to send you the email too. And I'm glad we did this today because that would have gone unnoticed until someone messed up, you know?
Right, yeah.
So if you have a friend that isn't watching today, let them know to check their email, and they purchase this box. Let them know to check their email so that they'll get it, and so they won't mess up their fabric.
Right.
And that's it. Oh, well, we got to do the one more
Yeah.
design, and then we're coming up on the 2-hour mark. So
Yeah,
we're making
okay.
pretty good time.
Mhm.
Taffy, I did check on the IQ designer book. I'm going to text Ryan right now. And double check your order, make sure it wasn't shipped. I'm going to text him right now. Ryan's a shipper, and he's on top of everything. And we have a new shipper in today, and he's going to be shipping out stuff. So I'm going to tell him right now to check your order. Okay, next step. You're going to take this out of the hoop, remove it completely, and trim just the stabilizer. Don't trim the fabric. You're just trimming the stabilizer.
Up to the batting point, right to there.
Yep, so yeah, you're going to want to cut it as close to the batting as possible, your stabilizer.
And then you need a new, I'll hoop your stabilizer for you.
Here.
Okay.
Yep, and then
All right.
Joni's going to get the hoop ready for the second part of this design.
Someone asked what step was corrected.
So step number,
I don't trust myself.
okay, the step number, let me look at the steps real quick. Machine step number 3, or no, number 4 was corrected. And it's just, the problem is, go back to that screen, Kate, on here. So the problem is, you see where the crosshair is right now? It started down there and sewed up. You'll see in this next part, it's really important that it starts up there. I mean, it makes things easier.
Mm-hmm.
And that's whenever I saw that, my heart dropped. I was like, well, how did that even happen? Because I had to go through all of these things and double check and make sure. It just doesn't make sense. I don't know if Palette like auto corrected it to do something like that, but maybe I just didn't click save.
All right, so we're going to put this in.
So machine step number 4 on the flange quilting is incorrect. It can still be done, just you have to be very careful when doing it. Okay, so Joni has the hoop back in. Did we do part B now?
Yes.
Is it in? No, it's not in part B.
No,
Okay.
it's not.
Okay.
I haven't.
So we're gonna go back to the home screen. I'll let you do it, Carol.
Yeah, it's okay. Embroidery. Pocket. USB. Knots of luck. PES. Flange quilting. The
13.5.
13.5 strips.
Yep.
And then we're going to go to flange_B.
Yep.
Set. And embroidery.
Yep. And then we'll same first few steps where it does the placement stitch, it does the batting tack down stitch, and then the placement stitch for the fabric. And then on that machine step number 4 is the important part where we have to line some things up. And maybe click pause when we're stitching it out.
Here's your batting.
Thank you. I was turned around looking for it.
And yeah, I'm for those of you that want the box still for your Valentine kit, if you could call in and let us know that you want your box, we can send you the box, like just the box part. Also, if you have another order with us, we could, put things in from your order to include with your box. And we're so sorry about that. It was the crazy fires that happened.
Yeah.
Also, to make note, when you're purchasing these boxes, like this is a limited edition box, and it's while supplies last. So I think we had 300 people get this box, and then we had to start shipping them out in our pink box. So the pink box isn't necessarily the Valentine's box, and you will get that box again, most likely. But every other month, we're going to try to do like a limited edition box just because it's fun. Uh-oh.
Thread issue.
Thread issue.
Okay. When you know, when you're almost done.
When you're almost done, that's how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
What stabilizer did we use?
We use no-show stabilizer for everything. Now, you could use medium tearaway. You could use cutaway. But we like the no-show. Why do we like the no-show? It's just softer.
Yeah.
It's softer, but it does shrink, whenever you...
Yeah,
Right?
sometimes
So
it does, yeah.
Nope,
With the
nope.
with the iron.
Don't fly away from me.
Bobbin almost flew away.
I'm just resetting the bobbin and
You check.
rethreading
Yeah,
it.
I'm going to go... I texted Ryan, and he's probably watching this show. Not the length of my fabric. For 4 sailor bucks, it's only 21 inches. 21 inches. It should have been cut longer than that. Okay, we could fix that, Ray. Okay, so you had a problem with what size? For the sailor's block, it was the whisper weave. So you needed a longer piece of whisper weave. We'll fix that for you, Ray, and we'll get you that longer piece. I got to write it down in my phone or I'll forget.
Needs to be.
Okay. I'll text
Should I
I'll
leave
text
this?
Maddie. I'll text my wife. She
Yeah,
always
let's see.
remembers things for me. Okay, you noted in your last order, Jeanette, that you still wanted the box. Okay, we'll get you the box. I'm telling you, Jeanette wants a box, and Ray wants the fabric.
Let's see.
I think I'm going to go back.
Back to the tack down.
No, just to the back 30 stitches, just to ensure that we're trimming anyway. I'm just hoping this is okay now.
I wonder what happened.
Yeah, it's okay now. Appears to be.
So the next box though, everyone's gonna get. Oh, Maddie says she's already on it, screenshotting the comments. The next box is not going to be a box for all of you that are gonna get the peep in the garden. The next box is going to be a cosmetic bag, and it's unbelievable.
It is really nice.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
And then the following project, you're gonna get a box, but your prize is gonna match that cosmetic bag. And I can't tell them what that is
No,
yet.
Gloria would tell them.
Yeah, my mom would tell
I'll
you
tell you.
guys.
But no, it's really nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. And it's something that you'll use all the time in your sewing room or even in your garden.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, okay.
A lot of thought
And it
effort
matches your
goes into
cosmetic
these.
bag. So
I'm just amazed at the effort and the time that are put into these kits. It's incredible.
should I tell them what they're going to make for the April one?
No.
No. Okay.
Well, wait. Wait, the bonus or the...
Oh, well,
Yeah,
let me
they
show them the
invite you.
bonus.
Yeah.
So I'll let you go ahead and
You've
cut out the
already
batting.
showed the peep in the garden. That's... Oh, he's talking about April for May. No, we're not telling.
But some of you saw me hold
Don't
up,
tell.
and this is still a bonus for the peep in the garden
Yeah,
box.
that's very cute.
So a little Easter bunny treat bag. So you're gonna get 2 bonuses for the next box, and we put that in sold 112 for the next box. But you see you have your floppy bunny ears, and you'll do most of this in the hoop. And all you'll have to do is just sew it together.
That is too cute.
But then you'll tie the ears. I have batting in this right now. It makes the ears very stiff and kind of hard to tie.
All right, so here is the.
Oh,
design
that's looking
that's
good.
done with the fill stitch.
Here, I'll hold it up
It
to the
looks
screen so
really good.
Kate's typing.
Mhm.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Put it down.
It's beautiful. Yeah, look at that satin stitch going around the fill stitch.
And then I want to show them the bunny bag up close too.
Mhm.
And you're going to get different faces for your bunny bag. See, it's hard to tie with all the batting, but
Mhm.
I'm going to adjust it. So I'm still working on it.
Yeah, that's
There's
so
the bunny
cute.
bag. So
That
you
is really
the
cute.
face
I love
is
the little
embroidered.
Easter
You're going to have
baskets.
space down here. I made the font too big. I put Mary May.
Mhm.
Mary May Horn is my little girl. She's sick and has a cough. But here's her little bunny bag. And I did this one in the 9.5 by 14 hoop. So there's a couple different sizes.
Really cute.
And that's a bonus. So bonus on top of the Easter peep. Okay, so what's next?
Yeah, lead us through.
Lead us through.
Lead
Oh,
us
I
through
forgot.
this.
We got sidetracked.
Almighty leader.
Uh,
The one
where's
you
that
just
strip?
sewed.
The one you just did.
I'm just
Right here.
yeah,
Right
there
here.
it is.
So you
Okay.
have to cut off the stabilizer.
All of it.
Yeah, let's cut it all off.
All right.
Mhm.
Just to get stuff out of the way. Yeah, that's fine. So she's trimming all the stabilizer off from part 1 of the design. And then we're going to go take it over. And Kate, you're probably going to have to get up close and personal with this part. So this step, we're going to do the placement, the placement for the fabric. So I'll go ahead and click start on this, and we'll let the placement for the fabric start.
And then it goes in like this. This
So-
gets butted up to that
Yeah,
edge.
so it'll be down like that. And then you'll flop it over.
Well, wait. No, wait. Okay.
And then do we have a... I just want to point out spots on here.
Let's see.
Do we have that turning tool? I'll just use a pen. I'm going to
So
move
it
this camera.
goes
Kate.
on.
Okay, so let's insert this in here. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You could even flop it up like this. What we're going to do is we're going to line this up so that this batting here, like you can see where the batting is, right? You want this corner of the batting to line up right at the corner of this batting here. Okay, and same thing on the other side.
Yeah, and butt up against
And butt up
the
against.
edge. Yeah.
And butt up against the edge. I'll try to do the best I can. But you can see it is looking pretty dang close. Now, you got to be very careful. Maybe tape would help if you want to use embroidery. Oh, see, I'm sliding all over the place. I'll put my pen down.
I know. I saw tape
It
somewhere.
might be in the drawer.
No, there was a red.
So
Tape might help.
No, I didn't bring any.
This is the most difficult part.
Yeah. Here, Joni, we got it. Do you want some tape?
I don't know. I think I'm good. As long as I put my finger here.
yeah, I kind of held on to it and then pulled the fabric forward.
And you know what? It's really important to line up your first stitch.
Yep.
So as long as I'm covering this, it's covering those lines. Lining up your first stitch. And I can kind of feel with my finger too. Of like, is the batting overlapping too much? Do I need to move it a little? Might need to move it back a little. That's okay. But this first stitch is very important. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn our wheel just so that it hovers right above that tack down stitch from part 1. So I just want to make sure that it's going right over that tack down stitch from part 1, and it looks like it's right there. So I think we're good to start it. And it's okay if it's a little bit off. It's not going to make a huge difference because we can still adjust it come the next step. Now, it stops here. I didn't add a color stop, but you can press stop here. And I just paused it. And I'm going to check the same thing. I'm just going to make sure it's nice and lined up. I might grab the back and just shift it a little bit, but it's lined up pretty perfectly. So if I put my needle down, oh, it looks like it has to come down just a little hair. And it's hard to see. Maybe if I lift the foot up, you could see. And it's going right there. So I think it's good. I'm just going to click start. Okay, now, same thing. Like we're going to put our needle, position our needle. Oh, and I probably should have held that more taut. That's okay. It will go out with the stitches.
Right.
So, same thing with this. I just want to line it up and make sure that it's going to line up evenly there. And I could have even moved it back more. But that's okay. I think it's going to be fine. Everything's looking good.
Mhm.
Let's press start.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
This is the finale. And it's right on.
Yep.
And then it will stitch out.
Wow. Like I said, that's my favorite part.
Yeah, so I mean this pillow looks so good.
It does.
It does require some work,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but
It's
the
worth
end
the effort.
it's worth the end result.
Yep.
We'll wait for this to sew out. Carol's gonna you could start piecing things, right?
Okay.
You
Yep.
could start laying things out. Let's
Sure.
clear off your workspace.
Okay.
And then while she's doing this, do we want to plug in this camera just in case?
I thought I switched it on. The middle. Here it is.
Cut this one for you.
Yeah, sure. Cut it a half an inch. Cut it a half an inch. Turn it over. Cut it a half an inch beyond the batting line, like this.
That way.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to mention, where's our little shamrock, our bonus block? Do they know they get this too on this project?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
You get this too. So, bonus block. We'll see if everyone's going to put 2 and 2 together, but we're going to, like you had a bonus block from the first one, you got a bonus block from the second one, you're going to get a bonus block on the third. So, and then you're also going to get that bunny bag on the Peep in the Garden one. And Carol, what, you're just going to lay these things out?
Yeah, but you
Are
know
we
what?
missing anything?
I need a short side. These two are long.
That's what
And
we
didn't
just did.
We just do a long.
We just
Or
did a
is that
short.
short.
We did
Okay.
a short.
Yep. Good.
And it's all done.
All right.
So you can see it's stitched out perfectly. We have our 2 parts to the design. We even cut a lot extra, so you could trim that off. Carol's going to do all that fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch. And you know what? I might go grab the other block out of my car.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
I'm going to go
Great.
run down the road.
Yep. The first thing we're going to do is attach the sides. We're going to attach the sailor's knots to the sides, and they should, it should be perfect. What I'm going to match up and what I'm going to sew, I'm going to sew on the batting line, maybe a hair to the left so that when I flip it over, it doesn't show, but I think we used green thread and it shouldn't matter. But anyway, I'm going to clip these two together. Now, if I was home, I'd be using my seam press glue, but we'll use clips today. It gets the job done. Turn that clip over. And do the same on the other side.
Do you need the machine changed to sewing?
Yes, I do actually, unless we
Okay.
can move. I brought. Is the green thread in there? No, I need the green thread and a green bobbin. I did bring a green bobbin. And I have an open toe foot. Look at my little case here. I probably left it on my machine.
What's that, your green?
My open toe foot. It's okay, I have the end foot here.
What do you use at home instead of clips, Carla?
I use dots of Elmer's washable glue or the seam glue from Acorn Products. Within the seam allowance, heat set it. You don't need any pins or
tried
clips.
it.
It holds it perfectly.
This isn't going to work because I trimmed it too close.
Okay, here's the foot.
Okay,
And
you
there's
have
my
a-
bobbin thread. If
okay,
you
and
put that in.
Then you have a green thread.
Yeah. I actually use $9.55.
$9.55?
Yeah, did you use $9.95?
For the corner blocks.
Yeah.
I think
Both
either or.
work, yeah.
Either or.
I'm actually going to sew. I'm going to flip this over and sew from this side because the satin stitching on the heart is real close to the end of the batting, and I don't want to sew over. I don't want to obscure the satin stitching. So instead of sewing from this side on the batting line, I'm going to sew from this side so that I don't mess the tops of the hearts up. You're taking too long, Joni.
Oh, okay.
Can't get good
Let's
help
see.
these days.
There you go.
Thank you so much. Let me grab a chair because for this part I do have to sit.
Okay.
Is the foot control plugged in? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like I'm sitting on the floor. It's really low. This chair isn't adjustable either, so we'll have to deal with it.
Wait, someone posted in the group, Susan, and she's probably watching right now.
Yep.
Well, I'll let you finish. But she cut hers with the scamming cut, and hers looks great.
Oh, yeah.
And she did her pillow. Hers is almost done.
Who is this?
Look at that.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Mm-hmm.
All right. What stitch am I on? Straight stitch middle 103. I actually like 104 because I like starting with a little knot.
I do too. I like that one.
Yep, I like it
use
the
I
best
use that
too.
quite a bit.
Yep. Now I'm going to line my needle up so that it falls in line right with this line of stitching here. Where at the that attached the batting when we embroidered. Well, it didn't. And I'm going to stitch just barely to the left or on this line that adhered that we stitch the batting. We place the batting. And I'm not a speed sewer. As you can see, I take my time. And I especially have to take my time because I don't want to cut off the tops of these hearts. We're going to get real close. Okay, that's one side done, and let's check it. It doesn't get any better. It worked out really well. Now the same with the other side. Make sure that I'm lined up really good. Well, I don't have. Oh, I'm going to cut this because I should be doing it from the other side. No big deal. Just flip it. Because I want to keep an eye on the tops of those hearts.
So you're just going really slow, making sure you're just getting the top of the heart.
Sewing for me isn't hurry up and get it done. Sewing for me is so enjoyable that I delight in it so much that I don't want to be frustrated having to rip out things. So I take my time.
Yeah. Gosh, I always see like videos of the clothing manufacturers and they're sewing like
Oh my
super
God,
high speed.
yeah, like maniacs.
Yeah.
Pedal to the metal. This one might be a little bit tighter, but all right. Good.
Looks
Both of them
great.
turned out great. Okay, now we're going to take, whoops, I hope you weren't using this camera. Okay, now we're going to take, Joni, is she
Yeah.
still here? Could you
Sure.
do me a favor?
Yeah, want me to cut the
Could you iron these? Iron them towards the border. And I actually have set the seam first, and then flip it over and use this,
Okay.
What
which
is
it's the pressing treatment from Acorn. It'll make those seams lay
Okay.
so flat. I
So
use
this
this
Okay.
on everything that
Have
I
we
do.
ever sold that? We got to get
Yes,
that.
yes,
We have?
we
Okay.
have.
We need
And
more
then-
of it.
Yep. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is take the corners. Whoops, we got to look at placement. If we're going to put this at the top, do we want our points in here? We're going to point them in and then clip. You want points in or points out?
Points
They're
in.
pretty-
Let's just do it how we did it.
Yeah, okay. Points in. Line it up. Maybe we could have a piecing class one time and I'll show my method for how I do piecing. That goes in, so this has to go this way. I've been using the gluing method for years, and this pressing treatment. You
Yeah,
can
this
see
is nice. Yeah.
I've had it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
This is the same solution that, remember when we were doing, we actually have this sprayer, the automatic sprayer.
Yeah.
We were demoing and comparing the Acorn pressing treatment and Material Magic. This is the same solution that's in the Acorn pressing treatment in that big bottle that you spray.
Okay.
Whoops, losing a clip. Okay, they look pretty good. Okay, back over here to sew these. And once again, I'm going to sew just a thread to the left of where the batting line is. And that looks pretty good to me. Slow and steady wins the race. Okay. Now these seams get,
Press the other way.
Exactly.
Right? So they nest together.
yep, exactly.
Okay, so we're going to go towards the center.
And then we're going to take our other two pieces. I still have to cut this one out. And I cut it out 1/2 inch beyond that batting sew down line. Should have a smaller ruler. This thing is hanging 8 miles off the edge. Okay, that's our other piece. We're going to do the same thing. Points in. We have an extra one of these, don't we?
I think so because Tommy went out to his car to get
Yeah,
one.
but this one isn't going to work because,
Okay.
yeah, this
so-
one has fill stitches. It doesn't matter.
No. So here's this.
Points in. Okay. Is that right? Yeah, points in. How did that turn out?
Oh,
Good?
Really nice.
Good.
And you can tell it's going to match up perfectly.
Yep. Point in. Confirm. Point in. Okay.
Let's see, yes. So this is going this way.
It's helpful when you're sewing the batting lines down to use a color thread that matches. That way, when you're like for instance, when we did when we adhered the batting initially, we did it with gold thread. It might have been, if you're thinking about it, do it in green, and that way when you flip this over, if you are off like I am here, you don't see the stitches. See the gold stitches? I'm going to take it back and I'm going to
Oh, yeah.
see what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you pick a thread, yep, too
Still
close.
is, yeah.
So let me just run it through again. Whoops. And I'm going to go to the left of that a little bit. Whoops. That's a little better. Could be better, but you get my drift. I'm not going to redo it because this is just the demo, but just keep that in mind when you're doing yours. Use the same color thread, whoops, for your batting tack down. Match it to your background fabric. Okay, that one's better.
Okay, so we're going to press this one towards the center also.
Yes.
Okay, so we do this.
Okay, now you're going to take
Oops.
this, and your seam should nest, because when we did the middle, we pressed the seams to the left. When we did the border, we pressed them to the right, so that when you connect them together, they should nest just like that, so that you don't have bulk in that seam. And then we're just going to pin or clip again. They just nest together so beautifully. Everything just fits together so well. How are we on time, Thomas?
I think we're good. It's either it's going to kick us out at 2.5 hours. It says on our side that we have 3.5 hours.
Oh, really?
So we could
Wait,
go
comments old kicks you out?
Yeah.
Huh.
They may have updated something, but
Okay.
we'll see. But come that 2.5 hour mark.
Yep, we'll
How
find
many
out.
more minutes do we have, Kate? Until. Okay, you gotta finish it in 10 minutes.
Oh, why is this seam way off?
Is that one off?
Yeah,
see.
look at how
They
far
don't
off it
match up.
is. Because I didn't sew on the right line. I should have sewed on that line.
Oh, okay, on that.
Because one, I sewed right here, but I didn't hit it right here because this was trimmed differently than this one. We have a seam ripper, and that's the one that's goofy, so
Let's see, we should have one right.
you know what, let me. real life. Would you say, Joni?
Oh yeah.
You know, when I'm home, people are going to cringe.
What's that?
I use this.
What's wrong?
I
with
use
that?
my
Oh.
I use
Yeah.
my 28 millimeter rotary cutter, and you just nick those threads, and they pop right
God.
off.
You give me a heart attack.
I'm living dangerously.
Yeah.
I won't do that here, though.
I remember
That's
someone
not.
came in and they cut themselves with a rotary cutter, and it was bad. They
Yeah,
cut
you can
Ooh.
get cut. Yeah.
So I could barely be trusted with the little kid scissors.
Mhm.
And I think after we're done piecing this and doing the stitch in the ditch, I gotta show them
Press that real
a
quick.
tip
Mhm.
with their metallic thread.
Okay.
So they don't get so it doesn't get caught. So
Oh,
I'm gonna
yeah.
go look for a spool stand.
Okay. And we will just plug along here.
There you go.
That's good. Okay, so what I want to match up is this line.
So
Make
half
sure-
an
make
inch
sure that
from
I do
this
the-
line. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
This, you know what, let me make sure that this trimming is correct. Nope, see how it's off a
Yeah.
1/4 inch?
Mhm.
So if I trim this again and take that off, then we're good. Then I don't have to fudge with it. All right.
Got your points towards the.
Nope, see?
No, yeah,
This
you need
is,
them.
yeah, this is screwy again too. Did we, I didn't sew this yet, right?
You're right on that one. You think points
Yeah,
are
they need to
pointing
go.
in. So you need this one to go. Yeah, this is right. That one goes.
Yeah, right. Okay, good. So you got to double check those things, triple check those things. Where did you go?
I looked for a spool stand and I can't find one.
Mhm.
I'll just have to talk through it.
I'm telling you, I'm going through this room. I'm going to organize it. Everything's going to have a place. Okay. All right, back at it. Comments, so don't kick us off. Let me move this. All of these knots are getting in my way here. I think I'm good. Okay. Voila.
Good. Okay. So this one's.
All right, and then I need to sew this. Make sure that that is nice and flat where those are nested. for some reason I'm off here. But it's okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Worked out there. Okay. All right, and then we're going to attach this with,
That one.
yep, going
Looks
this way.
amazing.
Yep. Hey, grab me some of those clips. See all of this garbage here, just
Here's some.
nest of those seams good. This one's broken.
Broken. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll throw it away. We
Yep.
won't keep it.
We might have to ease this in a little bit for some reason. I hate all these.
Threads.
Yep. I'll put one up here. And one down here.
I could start cutting these for you if you wanted, but we'll wait a minute. Go ahead and do that. And then
We don't need anything cut because I already
You
cut
cut
these
these,
a half an inch beyond the batting. They're already cut.
okay, this one, oh, these are all cut? Okay.
Yep. Except the last one that we did, I'm not sure if
Oh,
I
yeah.
cut it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that one. Yeah, that one is right here. We're up to 2.5 hours. Do you think they'll? We're still live. We could probably go on tomorrow just to finish it up, but I don't know if Carol's here, so.
I can come in. I want to make sure that these are nested good. What happened on there?
Yeah, from the, oh,
Okay. Looks good. Well, nope. Got a goofy corner up here.
well,
Do we want to rip and redo it or just go ahead?
Go through. Let's just
Just-
go
yeah.
through.
I mean, if I were home, yeah, I'd take this out, but there was something goofy between.
Yeah,
It just didn't.
it's okay.
I could have pulled it in, and I could have eased it in a little bit more, but And then here too.
It's
See?
okay. We're on a.
If I was home, I know we're on
Yeah.
a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if I was
This
home,
is
I'd rip this out.
demonstration purposes
Okay,
Yeah.
of
just
what
so
to
you
do.
guys understand.
Yeah,
All right. What do next?
we're
Okay.
working
It's-
with a lot of adversity here. And
Yeah.
Flanges, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Flanges,
Now you're
okay.
going to take one of the short flanges. You're going to measure or mark the middle of this.
So you're folding it in half, kind of, and just finding that middle point, middle mark.
And I'm just going to verify that it's the middle. Yeah, we're good. You're going to find the middle of your motifs. Is this the short? No, this is the long side. This is the short side. You want to find the middle of these motifs. So take your first and your last motif and line them up, and then finger press it to find this middle. Just to verify. Yep, we're there. Let me put that pin back in. I shouldn't have taken it out. Sorry.
That's a good idea. So your design is right in the center.
Yep.
And, it'll look
And then you
balanced
wanna
on the
match.
ends.
You want to match your pins. I should have put the pin on the other side, but you know what? All right, and then we're going to sew, and your batting should actually, come right to the edges. It should be equidistant on both sides. And I'm going to clip this quickly. Gonna throw another one in real quick. Okay, and then we're gonna sew, once again, staying just a thread to the left of that batting. Which I can barely see because we used white thread. Okay. And there we go.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Looks really nice.
yes, it does, and it's evened up.
perfect,
Yep,
yeah.
it's evened up really, really well. Now this side, same thing. You're gonna finger press to find the middle of this. short side?
It was just here a second ago.
Here it
It
is.
is. Yeah.
All right, and then I'm going to actually flip this. Well, that's about, no, I can't, because I want to match up these motifs. Okay, there we go. And it's actually right where the two battings meet, but I'm going to throw a pin in there anyway. Because they are the same size. Okay, and then match up our edges. I'm actually going to match up the batting with the pin because it should all work out. This, I need to be careful. This one worked out okay because the seam is here. So you want to make sure that when you're sewing this, that you don't flip the seam up because then you're going to end up. So there, you have to remember that they're pointing to the center. But you could do what I do. If I encounter that, what I do, if it does accidentally get sewn like this, I just put a little clip up to the thread line.
And then flip it.
Yep.
I've done that before too.
Yeah. It's a cheat, but it works. This needs to go down. So when I sew, I'll actually, it'll be heading in the right direction. The presser foot won't. This one I'll have to watch because it's tilted up.
Carol, do you use Material Magic on
Everything.
everything?
Yep, I even put it on this shirt today, which has got thread all over it. But yes,
What
I
it
me-
exactly do?
it's a starch, but it's the best starch that you can find out there. You're not going to find anything like it. If you use it full strength, let it dry and iron it, your fabric actually will hold like a sheet of paper. It'll feel like a sheet of paper. It's awesome. But I mix it half and half with water in a spray bottle and soak my fabric.
You don't care? Okay, I was just checking.
I've turned a couple of our customers on it, and they use it religiously now, too. I don't want to run over that pin. This one goes up, so I have to be careful.
It's still light outside, believe it or not. It's getting lighter.
That's good.
Yeah. What somebody told me daylight savings time is March 9th.
I hope they get rid of it. Are we going to get rid of it? Can we get rid of daylight savings? What is the point?
I don't know.
It's for farming, right?
For farming, yeah.
Before they had alarm clocks? Like,
Yeah,
what is the point of it? It makes me so angry because, like, all the kids, they get all messed up.
Yeah, it takes a week.
I get messed up. I barely sleep good as it is. And then we just got to change our schedule for no reason.
Okay. There we go.
Okay.
Looks good. Now we're going to trim these edges. Can you iron? And we're going to iron to the borders.
To the borders.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully that's turned on. And then put the last two flanges on.
Someone said their dog gets messed up. Everything gets messed
it
up.
does.
And it matches that batting middle. I'm not even going to pin it because it
It's
does.
starting to look really good.
It does look really good.
It's perfect.
It's crazy how you like piece it together and then it's like, whoa, yeah,
Magic.
magic.
Your little bunny's getting ignored over there and
Yeah,
squashed. He's getting depressed.
She needs help.
There we go. Okay. Put that
All right,
there.
and then we're going to trim, square this up really, really well. And I'm actually going by this edge here because everything else is kind of extending beyond it. So my most innermost piece is what I want to line up to. So it's going to cut a little bit of that off. Whoops. Okay, and then even up this other edge. I kind of look at my seams too. You can tell, like this seam up here is, just make sure that it's squared, that you're not cutting it crooked. Right. And actually when I piece, no matter how intricate the block, I piece up after every time I sew. If I add a piece, I square it up. I look at what it's supposed to be. A lot of people don't do that. They just keep adding pieces.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they can't figure out why their stuff isn't square. All right, and this, we need to find the middle of this, which...
Need more clips.
Yeah. How many people are still with us?
I think a lot.
Are they? Okay.
There's some troopers with us.
Nobody's getting dinner tonight.
We're having waffles tonight.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, I like to do that every once in a while. Have breakfast
We just
for
did
dinner.
that. Yeah, we did
I
that
do,
recently.
yeah.
That's Gray's favorite meal. It's the only thing I can get him to eat.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
I think we should do
Waffles.
it. You pull waffles, eggs, just like breakfast foods. We can't get them.
Well,
to eat.
eggs is a luxury item now.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true. That is true. Might buy a chicken.
Yeah.
We
There
have
you go.
neighbors that they have chickens. It's kind of weird to have chickens this close to a city. But they-
People down in Oakmont
Well,
have
you're-
chickens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The council got together and decided they were going to have an ordinance about the chickens.
The chickens.
Yeah. Seriously? Don't you have worse things to worry about
Yeah.
than somebody having a couple of chickens?
I saw a fox in our backyard,
Mhm.
so they're probably after the chickens.
Yeah.
Our neighbors' chickens.
Mhm.
Judith, I didn't include a all-in-one design on this for the flanges. So yeah, you'll have to do them in two hoopings no matter what.
They're easy.
Sometimes if you I feel if I include too much stuff, it kind of gets confusing and you can get things lost and wait, where do I go to get this? And so I mean, I forget how many strip sizes I give you, but there was a lot.
If somebody they had 5, I guess they had 5 chickens, it's Ray.
But a fox got 4.
Got 4.
Oh man.
Wow, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And foxes, they're so cute. They're like
Mhm.
the cutest animal, but they'll eat your chickens.
Mhm.
Kate, you live out in the country. Do you get a lot of animals? Well, Kate just hit a deer with her car.
Oh, yeah. That's
Who
too
did?
bad, yeah. Kate did.
Oh,
yeah.
jeez.
Mhm.
It's crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just how they
Did
can
he
come
get
out
up
of
and move on? I don't think I want to know. Or was he?
Yeah.
Good, good.
the deer's fine. Car's not, right?
Oh,
No,
yeah, they
it's
can
too
do a
bad.
lot of damage.
Mhm.
Have you ever hit a deer, Joni?
No, I have not. So
No.
I don't want. I hope I never do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd have to put me in the hospital
Yeah.
if I ever did. That would really upset me.
My daughter has a fox that lives in her neighborhood,
Yeah.
and the kids just say, "Oh, that's the fox," and I'm there. Oh, let's get.
Well, she had a vulture too, right?
Yeah,
Wasn't
she
there
had
a vulture
Yeah,
that
a
it
vulture.
was
Yeah.
stalking you guys and
Yeah,
trying to?
he wouldn't leave her yard. Yeah, finally he did. I don't know what it. We named him Ned.
Oh, geez, he has a name.
We have a raccoon that torments us, and it broke into our garage.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And
How did you get into the garage?
we don't know. The garage door is busted now, so it's a big raccoon.
Yeah.
Like he terrorizes us.
Well, this
Well-
I had a friend who had, I guess, a couple of raccoons. I think 2 came down the chimney.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they ransacked the house,
Oh
and
gosh.
they were upstairs, and they called the police, and they had to throw the keys out the window to the police so they could get into the house. And, it was terrible. She said it was horrible.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Wow, we got we got a bunch of animals.
Whoops.
I haven't seen the groundhog
Okay.
in a while.
Oh, I don't know.
I think that's a good sign. I mean, like, it's not a good sign. Like, it means the winter is still here.
Yeah.
You know.
Mhm.
So I think once we see the groundhog again, that means spring's finally here.
Yeah.
There's a bobcat. Libby's got a bobcat in her neighborhood. No thanks.
Bobcat now.
There's a bobcat on the Gateway Clipper. The Gateway Clipper is a boat in Pittsburgh. I used to work on it,
Yeah.
but somehow a bobcat got onto the
Oh,
ship.
really?
Yeah,
And they couldn't
a bobcat, not like a regular cat.
It's just
Like a bobcat.
That's like a.
It was 6 years ago this happened. A bobcat in the city of Pittsburgh. How does that happen?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But there was a
How'd they
bobcat.
get them off?
The wildlife people, what are they
Okay,
called?
Yeah.
And they had to get the bobcat.
And they put him in a cage and took him away.
Yeah, I'll try to find the picture.
Oh boy.
Why is it making that noise?
Maybe you're running out of bobbin thread. Let's see.
Nope,
No. Okay. Well.
it doesn't give you a message.
Well, let's see.
There was the news came.
Oh, really?
News came. They're like, what's a bobcat doing? Yeah, animal control came. Let's see if there's a photo. No photo.
Okay. So I think that's it.
Whoops.
Look
Okay,
at that. Wow. It's beautiful.
they cut the top of this heart off a little bit, and this one, but it's okay. They are all still
Yeah.
where they're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now we gotta iron and trim again. And I'm gonna iron these. How do they want to go? Out. They want to go out.
Okay.
Yeah, they want to go out. Is the iron still on? And then we are gonna build the back. We're gonna measure this. We are going to measure it totally, divide it in two, and add 4 inches to each piece. So if this measures 18 inches square, we're going to cut a piece.
Are you guys feeling up for finishing this? It's one last thing we gotta
Yeah,
do.
yeah, I can.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine. Cut it 18 inches long. Yeah, I'm having a brain. I'm having a. Here, let's trim this again. I'm glad that iron stays hot.
This one stays hot for 2 hours.
I know. Mine, I have the rose gold, and sometimes it does frustrate me because it shuts off before I'm ready. I want to make it as square as I can.
They're still on. They're not gonna shut us down, or.
They're not gonna shut us down. We're good.
Okay.
I like doing the videos all in one part, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for staying on and watching
Absolutely.
us. And thank you, Carol and Joni
Yeah.
and Kate, for the long show.
And do we have your fabric for the?
The next show will be shorter, I think. We're still getting a hang of this.
Is it?
You know what? I want to organize the next show.
Okay.
Can I do that? Will you let me do that?
Well, yeah. We just got to get things prepared. That's
Well,
it.
I want to be involved. I want, like, when we film, I want to organize the whole sloop. You design it. I'll do everything else.
Okay. I'm okay with that. Less responsibility for me.
Yep.
Always like that.
All right. So we're going to measure this. Hopefully it's where we can't get to the edge of the...
Here, we'll go to 10 inches.
Yeah.
I do that. I pick out a nice
Okay,
even number.
And this measures 28 and a half.
Okay.
So it's 18 and a half. Remember that, Tommy.
18 and a half.
Measure this.
Okay. There's
10.
10. And
It's not quite. It's real close. It's 28 and a half.
okay.
All right, so we're going to divide that by 2. That's 14 and a quarter.
14 and a
Okay.
quarter.
And we're going to add 4 inches.
So 18.
So it's going to be 18 and a quarter. We'll just make it 18 and a half
Okay.
because the excess is going to be the overlap that's tucked inside anyway.
Okay.
Okay, so we need backing fabric. And what do we, what's that number again?
It's 18 and a half. Right?
18 and a half.
By,
18 and a half. No.
No.
18 and a half
14
by...
and a
what's,
half.
what's 18 and a half divided by 2 is 9 and a quarter
Okay, so
plus 4.
14.
So it's going to be 13 and a half. Well, okay, we'll make it 14 by 18. Is this too? I'm going to square up this edge because I don't trust anybody. I need a square edge. It's pretty square, but I'm going to cut anyway. Okay, and then we're going to measure. Let's do 18. This is 10.
And you need to.
Yeah.
I want that up there. Or,
All right, we're going to do 18 and a half. Well, wait, we got double fabric here.
yeah. So you want a single layer?
No, you know what? Yeah, we'll do this. So I'm gonna cut it. $28 and a half, 10, double check. 28 and a half. All right. And then we're going to take this and we're going to do 14 and 4. No, we're going to do half of 20. Yeah, half of,
I'm putting it
what
right
was
on
this
10
again?
18 and a
18
half.
and a half. So we're going to do 9. 9 and a half plus 4 is 13 and a half. So we need this to be 13 and a
I'm
half.
gonna put
You
right
got
down
it
to
on 10?
Yeah.
And I'm going to go to 23 and a half. We need 2 of these.
Okay. I'm going to put this on 10. There we go.
Slide it up a wee little bit so I can see the markings.
Okay, so here we need, you got a little bubble here, so yeah.
Okay,
Smooth that.
23 and a half, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now we're going to take our pillow top, make sure it works. And it does. But you're going to take these 2 pieces, and on this edge, you're going to fold it down.
You fold it
This
twice
is,
or
yeah, well, yeah, usually.
Mhm.
So I need an iron.
right here.
Let's do just a 1/4 of an inch, and it doesn't have to be exact. It doesn't
Okay,
have to be
quarter,
perfect.
Just a 1/4 of an
Yeah, yeah. We're doing an envelope back, but you know, an option for these pillows is a zipper if you're zipper proficient, or buttons if you want to do buttons. If I had something out all the time, I would do a zipper, but this is seasonal. Another 1/4.
Another 1/4.
Yeah,
okay.
or close, between a 1/4 and a half. You can make it bigger, make it a little bit bigger, because I want to sew. I'm going to sew
Okay.
an 1/8 of an inch, and I hate those. When you're trying to sew, you know, an 1/8 of an inch on a little piece.
Okay. We need a little bit more water in our iron, but
Okay, and
Okay.
then I'm just gonna sew this and enclose the raw edge.
okay, and you don't do that to this one.
Yes,
You do the same thing?
Yes.
Okay.
and I'm gonna sew close to the edge, anywhere from an 1/8 to I'm not being real perfect here.
That's okay.
I know, because we
I know as much as that
time
probably hurts you.
constraints. Yep.
This is demonstration purposes.
My dog
Things
pro-
aren't going to be perfect.
here's-
My
And
dog
there's the
probably
other.
already peed on the living
Oh,
room floor,
no.
so. All right.
See, Gray wants a dog really bad. and
Oh,
that's,
he has to. I think every kid should have
I
a
know.
puppy.
Gosh.
How do you, is he
What kind
allergic?
of dog do we do? He's allergic to dogs.
Do
Is he
you-
allergic to cats?
Yeah.
Do
He's
you,
allergic
did
to it
you
all.
did you have pets when you were a child?
Yeah.
Did you? What did you have dogs?
They had a cat named Tommy before I was born. Isn't that funny? They named their cat Tommy.
I know.
They say,
and
hey,
then-
why
well,
don't we
yeah,
name
and
our
then
baby
call-
Tommy?
I know.
Yeah.
Seriously.
But
fitting
you know what,
together
dog?
really-
He really likes a golden retriever.
Yeah.
But the shedding.
Oh
I'm
boy,
not,
yeah.
you know, like it gets all over your clothes. You
There's
gotta
a-
have
yeah.
lint brushes every
Every-
room in the
every
house.
and before people leave your house, they have
Yeah,
to.
and they chew on your shoes, and
Yeah.
they're so cute though. So,
Mhm.
wiener dog. He likes a wiener dog.
Mhm.
Oh, I see someone said beagles. Beagles are really cute.
I have a Cavalier King Charles.
He does not like poodles.
He doesn't
Hates
like poodles.
poodles.
Yeah,
He hates
yeah.
poodles.
He hates poodles. He just doesn't like the way they
Okay.
look.
This goes
A
This
doodle too.
goes-
He doesn't like doodles.
right side up. These pieces go right side down, and then you just overlap them.
We're so close. It's a really fun watch.
You have a nice overlap here. You know, you won't
Yeah.
for
And
your
then
gap
you'll sew
for
all the way
gapping, and then you sew all the way around. Now, do you want to go further? Do you want, because the only other thing left to do is to turn this right side out, and all you do is press it real good, and just to use your stitch in the ditch foot, and sew right in along this edge here to create
The flange.
the flange.
Okay, tell them
it's
that
very
again.
simple.
Tell them
Let
that
me
again.
show the pillow. That's
So we don't have to do all this. Let's just walk them through it again.
Okay, so when you get this part done, you're going to place it face up. You're going to place these pieces face down so that, you know, your little sewn edge is like that.
So you put right sides together.
Right sides together. And then you're going to sew
So the
sew 1/4 of an inch all the way around this edge. Clip it real good or pin it, whatever your preferred method is. Sew 1/4 of an inch all the way around. Clip your corners, but don't clip the stitches. Turn it right side out, and when you get it turned right side out, you're then going to take it and using your stitch in the ditch foot, stitch in this crevice right in between these fabrics, all along the edge. It's very, very simple.
and there's the finished pillow. We can show them that.
Yep. Here's the finished pillow.
This is the way we did. If for those of you who came to the event in November, our pillow that we made on the Appliqué, we did it this way.
Now, this pillow here, I should have taken, this was my pillow that I had at home. And it's a tight fit, but what I could have done was opened up a seam and taken some stuffing out so
Yeah.
that it wasn't so poofy. And you wouldn't get this big of a gap here. But, you know, it's very simple. And then the stitching in the ditch that you do here creates your flange. They're so simple to do.
You'll make all your pillows that way.
Yep. The other thing I would recommend doing is in this area where your overlap, where these two meet, maybe do some extra stitching here because this is a stress point.
Very nice.
And that's basically it.
Awesome. Thank
Yep.
you guys.
Yep, sure.
Okay.
Thank you. I hope you all enjoyed the show. Now, you ladies are free to go. I wanted to show just some of the boxes, Kate, and then we can end the show for today. And we'll
Okay.
talk about the next one.
I'll gather up all my stuff.
So I hope you guys enjoyed everything today. I know it was long, and some of you may have ended to watch the replay later on some things. But this pillow was a lot of fun to make. Carol did a great job picking the colors. I can't wait to make the next pillow. So that is sold 100 if you want to buy the single month. The next pillow that we're going to do, and yes, we're going to do another pillow. It's going to be Peep in the Garden, and that's the next product we have in. It's sold 112. Now, where is my Peep in the Garden? Let me go find my Peep in the... Oh, it's right here. So the Peep in the Garden, like I said, you're going to get these blocks. We're changing this fabric here. I'm not a huge fan of the color choice that we made on this corner block here. So we're changing this color, and we're going to sew this out again. But you're going to get 2 different versions of this egg. So you're going to get an egg with tulips in it, and then you're going to get an egg that looks more like a painted egg with satin stitches that zigzag across, a bunch of candle wicking, same thing on the top here. You'll get all the materials in here except for the thread. You'll need to buy your own batting and stabilizer as well, but you'll get all the fabrics that you see in here. Even the glitter flecks will be included in the box. Also, the pom-poms. And the pom-poms will match the pillow. And I can't wait until we put this together. I think you'll get the full effect as soon as we back this pillow and put the pom-poms together. But it's going to look great. You're going to get 2 yards of the pom-poms to make the biggest size pillow. You'll get enough fabric to make the biggest size pillow. And like I said, you're going to get that bonus bunny bag. You're going to get the bonus block design as well. And we'll see what other bonuses. It's all going to come inside a cosmetic Gloria Horn Sewing Studio pouch. And you're not going to get a needle minder on this one. The pouch is considered the prize on this one, and there's no box as well. But you'll get those instructions. You'll get the step-by-step instructions and all the materials to help you make this pillow. And I can't wait to see what people post on their pillow from today. I'm already seeing people post it on the Facebook group. No flowers on the egg? Yeah, so this one, I have to sew out the sample because it's going to look more, well, there is going to be a little bit of flowers on the eggs. There's going to be little tulips. But it's going to look more like a painted egg. So you're going to get 2 versions of this egg. So if you didn't like this one, there's going to be another option. You can also leave it blank if you choose to do that as well. But yeah, what's our next product? The monthly. The monthly, you could do the 3-month, the 6-month, or the 12-month. Now, if you choose to do the prepaid plan, where you're gonna choose the 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. For the 3-month and 6-month, you can choose your months. All you have to do is when you place that order, you'll see right before you pay for the order, it will say customer note or a note to add, and you're just gonna list off the months that you want, and that way, you could choose what months. But if you don't put anything, we're just going to assume you want the following 3 or the current 3. So if we haven't already shipped out those boxes. Now for shipping on this one, I have to say, because February is a short month, we're looking at the second week of March that these are going to be shipping out. We have all the fabrics, everything. We're just waiting on instructions to print. We have those cute flash drives. I forgot to mention the flash drive. The flash drive, you're going to get a bunny flash drive. And I don't know if we have it here. We do. We don't. We do. So there's 2 options of these bunny flash drives. And this is going back to sold 112. Bunny flash drive. You're going to get a cute bunny flash drive. It's not going to have a necklace or anything on it. You will have that hole to put like a keychain on it if you'd like to do that. But yep, awesome flash drive. You're either going to get pink or purple. So if you have any questions about these designs, or you want to purchase the prepaid months, go ahead, give us a call. Janine will answer the phone. Cherry will answer the phone. Tiffany might answer the phone, and we'll be happy to help you decide which months to get. You could pause. You could say, I want these 2 months, and I want to pause until I see another month that I like. You could do that. But we're going to quickly go through these products, and Kate's just going to flip through them, and they'll be in our product selection for today's show. It's just all the materials we use. We had embroidery tape. We had no-show stabilizer. We had heavyweight fusible fleece, which we used to make this first pillow. And we put the fusible side up, and we should mention that in the instructions. There's also Gypsy Quilter embroidery batting in multiple different sizes. There's Sold 113 will be the hot fix that we used. And there's a couple different scissors. The duckbill scissors, which we like to use for cutting the batting. The Easy Snips, which is great for cutting appliques. And we have the gray spool caps, a 4 count. If you lose your spool cap, which I'm sure a lot of you do, they might go underneath the couch, underneath your cabinet, and you can't reach them. Don't even bother. Just buy more. And then we have the scan and cut. Now, someone just posted in the group, Her name was Susan. So go check out in the group. I think she added a tip of how she cut it out on her scan and cut. I believe she put the fabric face down and the paper side up when putting it in the scan and cut. So this kit, this monthly kit, it's not just going to be pillows. As you saw, our first month, we did the Love Sweet Love, and it was an all in the hoop door hanging. These two are pillows. The next one, I can't tell you what it's going to be, but it's going to be great. And I mean, the one after that might blow your mind away. But we're still in the process of designing that. Well, I'm in the process of designing that and making that work. But the one for, I guess that would be July. So this one is March's box, intended to be, displayed in April, and then June. I think June's box is going to blow your mind away. So thank you all for watching today. We will be back on tomorrow with Kimberbell. Anything else?
No, just 2 Kimberbell shows.
Two Kimberbell. One at noon, one at 3 for Kimberbell. Stay tuned. What are they doing tomorrow?
They're cutting out fabric for the
Mystery Quilt? No.
Hopping Down the Bunny Trail pillow.
Okay, Hopping Down the Bunny Trail pillow tomorrow.
Like starting on the poppy bag.
And starting on the poppy bag. Is that We Love to Stitch? Okay, so we have a We Love to Stitch starting on the poppy bag tomorrow. Please tune in at noon and 3. Thank you all for watching. And yeah, goodbye.